Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's pick-a-pile reading, which full disclosure I'm calling the next chapter of your love story. Because let's be real, love is a journey, right? And we're diving deep into what's coming up for you. So what makes this reading extra special? We're not just talking surface level stuff. We're looking at the next chapter, what's evolving, what's deepening, and how you can create the love story you truly desire. You know, this reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching, it's meant for you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. No pressure, okay? Let's meet our crystals, each representing a unique path in your love story. First, we have this beautiful amber heart, symbolizing awakening. This pile is all about rekindled flames, igniting passion and playfulness. Next, we have this clear quartz sphere, super protective, which represents fortified foundations, strengthening bonds and setting boundaries. Then there's this gorgeous opal palm stone, all about clarifying, and it highlights unveiled truths, deeper understanding and honesty in your connections. And finally, this moonstone cluster, another stone for awakening, is about evolving tides, emotional growth and transformation within your love life. Okay, take a deep breath and just feel which crystal you're drawn to. Trust your intuition. There are no wrong choices here. You might even want to check out more than one pile. That's totally cool. Close your eyes for a moment, make a wish for clarity and guidance in your love story, and then choose the pile that calls to you. Have fun exploring, loves. Hey there, my friend. So excited to dive into your love story, especially with this gorgeous amber heart. Amber, as you know, is all about awakening, and that perfectly sets the stage for what we're about to uncover about rekindling flames and igniting passion and playfulness in your love life. I just know that you will find the words very accurate, like someone's telling your intimate secrets out loud. These cards, wow, they're speaking volumes already. So let's jump right in, okay? First up, we have the Star, and oh my gosh, this card is just pure hope and inspiration. When I see the Star in a love reading, especially with the theme of rekindled flames, it tells me that there's a real sense of healing and optimism coming into your love life. Like, maybe things have been a little bit dim lately. Maybe you've been feeling a bit disillusioned or disconnected. But the Star is here to say, hey, don't give up. There's still so much potential for light and joy. I feel like the universe is like winking at you, like, I see you, I hear you, and I'm sending you a little sparkle. Think of it as a gentle reminder that even in the darkest nights, the stars are always there, shining, guiding you forward. It's like, imagine you're looking up at the night sky, and you spot that one star that just seems to twinkle a little brighter than the others. That's the energy of this card right now. It's a sign that there is hope for healing past wounds, for mending misunderstandings, and for reigniting that spark that may have faded over time. And it is not just any hope, it's very real and achievable, like that one star twinkling in the sky is not an illusion, and it is there, just for you. This card is about embracing vulnerability and allowing yourself to be open to receiving love, even if you've been hurt in the past. I also feel like this could be a sign that you're attracting someone new into your life who embodies these qualities of hope and inspiration. Maybe there's someone who helps you see the world in a brighter light, someone who encourages you to dream big and believe in yourself. Now, because our theme is about rekindling flames, I feel like this card is especially significant. It's not just about finding new love, it's about rediscovering the love that's already there, even if it's buried beneath layers of everyday life. It's like, remember when you first fell in love, and everything felt so magical and exciting? The Star is inviting you to tap back into that feeling, to remember what it was that drew you to your partner in the first place, and to find ways to bring that spark back into your relationship. And I know you can, like it is a matter of time. I feel like one of the key things here is communication. The Star is all about expressing your hopes and dreams openly and honestly with your partner. Like, don't be afraid to share your vulnerabilities, your fears, and your desires. The more authentic you are, the more deeply you'll connect with each other. It's also about finding ways to bring more fun and playfulness into your relationship. Remember the playful part of the theme, Like, do things that make you laugh together, try new things, and don't take yourselves too seriously. The The star is all about embracing joy and spontaneity and allowing yourself to be present in the moment. I'm getting the sense that you should plan a date night, no matter how long you have been with your partner, like right now, like after our reading. Okay, before I move on, I am feeling such a strong sense of optimism here, it's contagious. Really, I am so excited for you. Okay, let's dive into the next card. Okay, next up we have the High Priestess, and ooh, this card is all about intuition, mystery, and inner wisdom. I feel like the High Priestess is here to tell you to trust your gut, to listen to that inner voice that's guiding you, even if it doesn't make logical sense. This card is about tapping into your subconscious mind and accessing the deep well of knowledge that resides within you. In the context of your love life, I think the High Priestess is encouraging you to look beyond the surface and to pay attention to the subtle cues and signals that you're receiving. Maybe there's something that you've been ignoring or brushing aside, something that your intuition has been trying to tell you. This card is urging you to take a closer look and to trust what you're feeling. I'm also getting the sense that the High Priestess is about embracing your feminine energy, whether you identify as male or female. This is about connecting with your nurturing, intuitive, and receptive side, and allowing yourself to be guided by your emotions. It's about honoring your inner goddess and recognizing the power and wisdom that you possess. It's imagine you're sitting in a quiet, peaceful place, meditating, and you start to feel a sense of calm and clarity washing over you. That's the energy of the High Priestess. It's about finding stillness within and allowing your intuition to guide you. Now, because our theme is about rekindling flames, I feel like the High Priestess is inviting you to explore the deeper layers of your relationship. Maybe there are unresolved issues or unspoken desires that are preventing you from fully connecting with your partner. This card is encouraging you to have those difficult conversations, to be honest about your needs and wants, and to create a space for vulnerability and intimacy. It's also about trusting your partner's intuition, really being able to confide in your partner and to listen to what they're trying to tell you, even if it's not always what you want to hear. The High Priestess is about creating a safe and sacred space for your love to grow and flourish. I feel like one of the key things here is self-awareness. The High Priestess is all about understanding your own patterns and behaviors in relationships. What are your triggers, what are your needs, and what are your boundaries? The more self-aware you are, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the complexities of love and to create a healthy and fulfilling relationship. It's also about embracing your sexuality and sensuality. The High Priestess is about connecting with your body and celebrating your desires. Don't be afraid to explore your fantasies and to communicate your needs to your partner. The more open and honest you are about your sexuality, the more passionate and intimate your relationship will be. Okay, wow, I am feeling such a deep sense of wisdom and intuition here, it's incredible. This card is really inviting you to trust yourself and to honor your inner guidance, so do it. After this reading, really think about it and meditate on it. I am so excited for you to fully embrace your inner High Priestess. Now, before I get carried away, let's move on to the next card, but yeah, be careful. Really think about the wisdom in the High Priestess. Alright, last but definitely not least, we have Judgment, and oh my gosh, this card is all about rebirth, renewal, and transformation. When I see Judgment in a love reading, especially with our theme of rekindled flames, it tells me that you're on the verge of a major breakthrough in your love life. This card is about letting go of the past, forgiving yourself and others, and embracing a new beginning. It's imagine you're shedding your old skin, like a snake, and emerging as a new and improved version of yourself. That's the energy of Judgment. It's about recognizing your mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward with a renewed sense of purpose. I'm also getting the sense that Judgment is about answering a call to action. This is about taking responsibility for your own happiness and creating the love life that you truly desire. It's about stepping into your power and making conscious choices that align with your values and your goals. It's imagine you're standing at a crossroads and you have the opportunity to choose a new path. That's the energy of Judgment. It's about making a bold decision and trusting that you're being guided in the right direction. Now, because our theme is about rekindling flames, I feel like Judgment is inviting you to resurrect your love life from the ashes. Like, maybe your relationship has been through some tough times, maybe you've even considered giving up. But Judgment is here to say, hey, it's not too late, there's still hope for a happy ending. It's about forgiving each other for past hurts, letting go of resentment, and starting fresh with a clean slate. It's also about reigniting the passion and excitement in your relationship. Judgment is about rediscovering what it was that brought you together in the first place and finding new ways to connect on a deeper level. I feel like one of the key things here is honesty. Judgment is all about being brutally honest with yourself and your partner about what's working and what's not working in your relationship. Like, are you truly happy? Are your needs being met? And are you both committed to making things work? The more honest you are, the better equipped you'll be to create a lasting and fulfilling relationship. It's also about embracing change and transformation. Judgment is about recognizing that love is not static, it's constantly evolving and growing. Like, don't be afraid to try new things, to experiment, and to step outside of your comfort zone. The more you embrace change, the more vibrant and exciting your love life will be. I also feel like Judgment is about being reborn as one in your relationship. Like, you both must be willing to change and adapt and be reborn together as one entity, but still maintaining your individuality. It is a new phase that you must both decide to step into. Okay, wow, I am feeling such a powerful sense of transformation here. It's amazing. This card is really inviting you to let go of the past and embrace a new beginning. It is a second chance for your love, and it is waiting for you to grab it. I am so excited for you to step into your power and create the love life that you've always dreamed of. Okay, so after all that amazing energy, with the star bringing so much hope, and the High Priestess and her crazy intuition, and Judgment with the rebirth and transformation, it feels like your love life is about to explode with awesomeness, right? Well, okay, so don't freak out, but we just pulled the Three of Swords. And, yeah, it can be a little intense, okay? I don't want you to panic. Like the Three of Swords, it's that card that everyone kinda dreads, you know? Like, it's the one with the heart and the three swords sticking through it. So it usually represents heartbreak, sorrow, betrayal, things like that. But before you start picturing the worst-case scenario, let's really dig into this, especially with our theme of rekindling flames and all the positive vibes we've been getting. Like, remember that amber heart and what it means? Awakening. So, okay, how could this heartbreak thing fit into a love story that's supposed to be, reigniting? Well, maybe, just maybe, this isn't about a new heartbreak, but about old wounds resurfacing. You know, like when you're trying to fix something, and all of a sudden you realize how damaged it really was. Think of it like this, you're cleaning out a closet, right? And you find, old letters or photos, or, something that reminds you of a painful experience. It stings, right? Even if it happened a long time ago. So maybe this Three of Swords is showing up because you and your partner are stirring up old stuff. Stuff that needs to be addressed before you can truly move forward. Or, okay, here's another thought. Maybe there's a difficult truth that needs to come out. Like, something that's been hidden or unsaid that's been blocking you from connecting on a deeper level. Sometimes the truth hurts, right? But it's also the only way to heal. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Quick, painful, but then it can heal. This could also be about facing some hard realities about the relationship. Maybe one or both of you have been avoiding dealing with certain issues, and now they're coming to a head. It could be about unmet expectations, or different needs, or just feeling like you're not on the same page anymore. And okay, let's be real, sometimes heartbreak comes from unexpected places. It could be an external factor that's putting a strain on the relationship. Like, maybe a job loss or family issues, or just the general stress of life. Sometimes, those things can put a real damper on your love life, and it can feel like your heart is being pulled in a million different directions. But this is not necessarily either of you being at fault. But that is why it hurts even more, like the swords coming from outside of you. But even that can be a good sign, right? It's like the universe testing your resilience, seeing if you can weather the storm together. Like, can you, as a unit, get through this difficult time? And if you can, That's going to make your relationship even stronger in the long run. But that is something that you will need to put the work in for. However this manifests, I feel like it's important to remember that the Three of Swords isn't just about pain, it's also about clarity. It's about seeing things for what they really are, even if it hurts. It's like you thought that was sugar in the jar, but the card is telling you to face the reality that it is salt. It's a shock at first, but then you know not to put it in your coffee. And remember the High Priestess? She was all about intuition, right? So maybe your intuition has been trying to tell you something for a while, and you've been ignoring it. This could be your wake-up call. It is connected to the awakening from our beautiful Amber. Like, maybe you've been sensing that something's off, or that something needs to change. The Three of Swords could be confirming those feelings, forcing you to confront them head-on. It's like that nagging feeling you get when something isn't right, and you try to ignore it, but it just gets louder and louder until you have to listen. It's your body and brain telling you. But like I was saying, let's not jump to conclusions and decide that everything is ruined. Let's be proactive. So, what can you do with this information? How can you use the energy of the Three of Swords to actually improve your love life? Well, first of all, communication is key, obviously. Like, if there's something that's been bothering you, or something that you need to get off your chest, now is the time to speak up. But be mindful of how you communicate. Like, don't go in guns blazing, accusing your partner of everything under the sun. Try to approach the conversation with compassion and understanding, and really listen to what your partner has to say. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Try to see things from their perspective, even if you don't agree with them. It is also a really good idea to have a friend that you confide in. Someone who you can vent to, who can give you good advice, but also who can be objective. And someone who will tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Because you don't want to hurt your partner if it is just you, or if it is just them. It's also super important to practice self-care during this time. Heartbreak can be exhausting, emotionally and physically. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Eat healthy, get enough sleep, exercise, do things that make you happy. And if you need to, don't be afraid to seek professional help. A therapist can provide a safe space for you to process your emotions and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Like, remember the star? That card was all about hope and healing. So, even though the Three of Swords can be painful, it doesn't mean that all hope is lost. It just means that you need to work through some stuff before you can get to the good stuff. And remember Judgment? That card was about rebirth and transformation. So, maybe this heartbreak is actually a catalyst for growth. Maybe it's pushing you to become a better version of yourself, both individually and as a couple. Like, it's forcing you to confront your issues and create a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. Like, think about it this way. A broken bone can heal stronger than it was before, right? The same can be true for a broken heart. If you're willing to put in the work, you can come out of this experience stronger and more resilient than ever before. Maybe it is time to end the relationship, but at least you will have the clarity to move on with no regrets. And that amber heart that you were drawn to, the awakening, it is happening now. Okay, so I know this card can seem scary, but I really believe that it's here to help you. It's here to shine a light on the areas of your love life that need attention. And it's giving you the opportunity to heal, grow, and create a relationship that's even stronger and more fulfilling than before. Like that first star in the star card will shine even brighter once you feel more confident. So, don't lose hope. Don't give up. And don't be afraid to face the pain. Because on the other side of that pain is a love that's worth fighting for. I really, really feel like there is hope. Okay, I am so curious about what the next cards are going to reveal, so let's get right to it. The swords have made me nervous, so let's hope for something super amazing. Okay, so after that, seriously, the Three of Swords and all its drama, we pull the Fool? The Fool? Talk about a total 180, right? We go from, stabbing pain and heartbreak to, this carefree dude with a bindle and a dog skipping off a cliff, what? But okay, you know what? Maybe it's not as crazy as it seems. Maybe the Fool is exactly what you need right now, especially after all that intensity. I mean, think about it, the Three of Swords was all about facing the pain, right? Ripping off the Band-Aid and dealing with the hard stuff. And maybe, just maybe, the Fool is about what comes next. Like, what happens after you've acknowledged the hurt, after you've cried all the tears, after you've had that, really awkward and honest conversation with your partner? What then? Well, maybe the Fool is saying, hey, it's time to let go of all that baggage and start fresh. It's like you've cleaned out the closet, right? You've gotten rid of all the old junk, and now you have this, empty space, just waiting to be filled with something new and exciting. So maybe this is about, starting over within the relationship. You and your partner have worked through some major stuff, and now you have the opportunity to, rebuild your connection from the ground up. Forget about all the past mistakes, forget about all the resentment, and just focus on creating something new and beautiful together. It's like you're both the Fool, taking a leap of faith into the unknown, trusting that the universe has got your back. It sounds a little crazy, but what if you decided to, treat your relationship like it was brand new? Go on dates like you're just getting to know each other, try new things together, and just be open to the possibilities. I feel like that star card is coming up again, you know? It means that you should really hold on to that hope and that optimism, even when things feel uncertain. The Fool isn't afraid of the unknown, and neither should you be. Embrace the adventure, embrace the spontaneity, and just see where it takes you. But also, keep that high priestess energy close, right? You need to trust your intuition, and you really need to listen to what your inner voice is telling you. Because the Fool can be a little reckless sometimes, right? He just jumps into things without thinking. So, you need to balance that with your own inner wisdom and make sure you're not making any decisions that are going to hurt you or your partner. Okay, I like this. I think that this Fool card is telling you to think about your love with a new set of eyes. A fresh start. But okay, let's be real for a second. What if the Fool isn't about starting fresh within the relationship? What if it's about starting fresh by leaving the relationship? I mean, that's a possibility too, right? Maybe the Three of Swords revealed some truths that are just too painful to ignore. Maybe you and your partner have realized that you're just not compatible anymore, or that you have different goals and values. And maybe, just maybe, the most loving thing you can do for each other is to let go and move on. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing, you know? Sometimes the end of a relationship can be a new beginning for both people involved. It's like you're both the Fool, stepping off that cliff, but you're doing it separately, each heading in your own direction, trusting that you're going to find your own happiness and fulfillment. It is also like you're both taking control of your own lives, which is empowering. It can also be a relief, because sometimes staying in a bad relationship can be even more painful than leaving. You should be thinking about what makes you happy, but it doesn't mean that it is going to be easy, though. I think I would be remiss if I said that it was, because breakups are always hard, even when they're the right thing to do. There's going to be sadness, there's going to be grief, and there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. But remember that Judgment card. That was all about rebirth and transformation, right? So, maybe this breakup is actually a necessary step in your own personal evolution. Maybe it's clearing the way for you to meet someone who's a better match for you, or to pursue your own passions and dreams. And that's not to say that it won't hurt, you know. The Three of Swords is still going to be there, reminding you of the pain and the loss. But you can use that pain as a catalyst for growth. You can learn from your mistakes, you can become stronger and more resilient, and you can create a life that's even more fulfilling than before. It is also a time to reflect. You can write in a journal and really think about the kind of relationship that you want. What are you willing to compromise on, and what are you not willing to compromise on? What are your dreams for the future? And I also want to emphasize that it is important to be kind to yourself. It is okay to not be okay for a while. Give yourself time to heal and to grieve. Do things that make you happy, surround yourself with people who love and support you, and just remember that you are not alone. There are so many people who have gone through breakups, and they have come out on the other side stronger and happier. I think that even if it hurts now, that the Star card is telling me you will also come out stronger and happier. Okay, but what if it's neither of those things? What if the Fool is just about embracing the unknown and trusting the universe, regardless of what happens in your relationship? It is a third option. I mean, Maybe you and your partner are going to stay together, maybe you're going to break up, or maybe something completely unexpected is going to happen. And maybe the Fool is saying, hey, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to just go with the flow and see where life takes you. It's like you're both the Fool, standing at the edge of that cliff, not knowing what's going to happen next, but trusting that you're going to be okay, no matter what. You can also use the Fool energy to add some fun to your relationship. Do something that you have always wanted to do, but have been too scared to do. Go skydiving. Go to a new country. There are so many possibilities. It's about surrendering to the moment and embracing the uncertainty. But I feel like this is really connecting back to that amber heart that you chose, you know. That amber is about awakening, and maybe the Fool is about awakening to a new level of trust and faith in the universe. It's about recognizing that you're not in control of everything, and that's okay. It's about letting go of your expectations and just being open to the possibilities. I think it is also about learning to expect that things might go wrong. Like if you are expecting that something might be a certain way, and it isn't, you could get sad, right? But if you are expecting that, hey, things might not go as planned, you will be a lot happier when things go differently. When you go on that skydiving trip, the plane might be late and you might have to wait. But if you are expecting that, it will be okay. It will not ruin your trip. And the Fool is also about not taking yourself too seriously. Like, life is too short to be stressed out about everything, you know? So lighten up, have some fun, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The Fool is always making mistakes, but he just laughs them off and keeps going. It is such a freeing energy. I also think that you really need to be listening to that High Priestess. The High Priestess will tell you what is what. You can be free and go with the flow and all that, but she will always be there, guiding you. Okay, wow, I am like, seriously buzzing with energy right now. The Fool is such a wild card, right? Like, it could mean so many different things. But I think that's the point. It's about embracing the unknown and being open to whatever comes next. And I think I know that whatever is next for you will be great. All the cards are in alignment for something special. Okay, so we have one more card to pull, right? And I am seriously on the edge of my seat. Is it going to be a card that confirms one of these possibilities, or is it going to throw us for another loop? I really don't know, but I'm so excited to find out. Let's do it. I want to see what is going to happen with your love life. Okay, so, yeah. After the wild ride of the Fool, like, the card we pull is the Five of Swords. Seriously? Like, can we catch a break here? Okay, don't panic, we can make this work. I promise. But first, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? The Five of Swords isn't exactly sunshine and rainbows. It usually represents conflict, defeat, maybe even a little bit of bitterness, you know? Like someone's won, but at what cost? So okay, how does this fit into our story, especially after the Fool's whole leap of faith vibe? Like, did the Fool jump off the cliff and land in a pile of swords? Yikes. Okay, so the most obvious interpretation here is, like, conflict in your relationship. Like, maybe you and your partner are fighting. Maybe you're disagreeing about something important, or maybe you're just, like, constantly bickering and nitpicking each other. And the thing about the Five of Swords is that it's not just about any old fight, right? It's about a fight where someone's trying to win. Like, they're not just trying to resolve the issue, they're trying to prove that they're right and the other person is wrong. And that can be super damaging to a relationship, right? Because it creates this, like, competitive dynamic where it's all about, you know, who's on top and who's on the bottom. And that's not a healthy way to relate to someone you love. It might be about a battle of egos. Like, you might think you are in the right, and you might really, really want to prove it. But like, is it worth it? I feel like I'm really channeling the High Priestess again here, like, listen to your intuition. Is winning this battle worth it? Think about what is at stake, what you will lose. Because, like, the swords aren't really a great sign, you know. It can mean a lot of fighting. It can mean a lot of thinking about things from only one perspective. And it can mean, like, not listening to what the other person has to say. And you are not going to rekindle the flame if you're just thinking about yourself. And, like, maybe your partner is not even thinking about rekindling the flame anymore. Okay, but maybe it's not necessarily a full-out fight. Maybe it's more subtle than that. Maybe it's about feeling like you're constantly being undermined or dismissed by your partner. Like, they're not listening to your ideas, or they're not taking your feelings seriously. Or maybe they're constantly criticizing you or putting you down, even if it's just in a joking way. And that can be just as damaging as a full-blown argument, right? Because it erodes your self-esteem and it makes you feel like you're not good enough. Maybe this is a sign that you need to establish some boundaries in your relationship. Like, you need to communicate to your partner that you're not going to tolerate being treated that way anymore. You deserve to be respected and valued, and if they're not willing to give you that, then maybe it's time to rethink the relationship. But okay, let's think about it another way. Maybe the conflict isn't with your partner at all. Maybe it's internal. Maybe you're fighting with yourself. Like, maybe you're struggling to make a decision about something important, and you're feeling torn in a million different directions. Or maybe you're dealing with some deep-seated insecurities or fears that are holding you back from fully embracing your love life. It is so interesting to me, because we really thought that we had worked past the heartbreak of that Three of Swords. But maybe it really is still here, and maybe you haven't quite worked through those feelings. It makes me think about that Judgment card too. Judgment is all about rebirth and renewal, and in that card, I kept saying that you had to be reborn as one. Like, maybe the internal conflict is about you being afraid to really be reborn, you know? Maybe you are afraid of change. And you have to embrace that side of the Fool, really. You can be reborn, you can be renewed, and you can also be yourself. This card could also be about you not liking the person that you have become in the relationship. You know, sometimes we lose ourselves when we are with someone else because we care so much about them. It is really important to focus on yourself, too. It can be hard to find a balance. And if that is what is going on, I don't think that there is anything wrong with talking to a professional. The High Priestess is all about trusting your intuition and also about inner wisdom. So maybe that means you should go and find someone who is really, really wise. Someone who is an expert. Okay, another idea. Maybe the conflict is coming from an external source. Maybe there's someone else who's causing problems in your relationship. A jealous friend, a meddling family member, an annoying coworker, you know? Sometimes, other people can't stand to see you happy, and they'll do whatever they can to sabotage your relationship. Like the Star said to be hopeful, and the Judgment card said for everything to transform. Those cards can be for other people too. They might not want you to succeed, and they might be trying to bring you down. It is really important to stay away from those people. Be very, very careful. It is up to you to guard your relationship. And the thing is, with the Five of Swords, it's easy to get caught up in the drama and the negativity. It's easy to start blaming other people or feeling like you're a victim. But the Amber Heart that you chose, it's all about awakening, right? So maybe this is about waking up to the fact that you have the power to choose how you respond to these challenges. You can choose to get sucked into the conflict, or you can choose to rise above it. You can choose to focus on the negativity, or you can choose to focus on the positive aspects of your relationship. And I think it's really important to remember that rekindling flames is all about bringing more passion and playfulness into your love life, right? So, how can you do that when you're constantly fighting or feeling stressed out? It's really hard to be playful when you're feeling defensive or resentful. So, maybe this is about finding ways to resolve the conflict in a healthy and constructive way. Maybe it's about learning to communicate more effectively, or maybe it's about setting better boundaries, or maybe it's just about letting go of the need to be right all the time. Okay, so it makes me think, what if this Five of Swords is actually a good thing? What if it's a sign that you're finally confronting some issues that have been simmering beneath the surface for too long? What if it's an opportunity to clear the air and create a stronger, more authentic connection with your partner? I mean, sometimes conflict can be a catalyst for growth, right? It can force you to reevaluate your priorities and to make some necessary changes. And maybe, just maybe, that's what the universe is trying to tell you right now. But you have to make sure that you can do it in a way that is respectful. And remember that Fool card. That card was all about starting fresh. So I don't know, maybe you have to really listen to the cards and decide how you are going to start fresh. So, like I said, I think that the Fool and this Five of Swords really go together. It is just a matter of figuring out which way you are going to take it, you know? It is really up to you. Are you going to stay with your partner and start fresh? Are you going to leave and start fresh? Or are you going to just ignore all of the problems and act like everything is fine and go travel the world? Ha ha ha, okay, I am kidding. Like the High Priestess would never let you do that, right? You would always be feeling guilty. She would not let you run away. Oh my gosh, I am so curious to see what the next card is. I want to see which path you are going to take. It is going to be so exciting. I'm on the edge of my seat, like seriously, I cannot wait to see what happens next. Okay, let's pull the card, let's do it. Okay, so like I said, I think that the Fool and this Five of Swords really go together. It is just a matter of figuring out which way you are going to take it, you know? Like, are you going to stay with your partner and start fresh? Are you going to leave and start fresh? Or are you going to just ignore all of the problems and act like everything is fine and go travel the world? Ha ha ha, okay, I am kidding. Like the High Priestess would never let you do that, right? You would always be feeling guilty. She would not let you run away. Oh my gosh, I am so curious to see what the next card is. I want to see which path you are going to take. It is going to be so exciting. I'm on the edge of my seat, like seriously, I cannot wait to see what happens next. Okay, let's pull the card, let's do it. Okay, here we go, the final card is the Hermit. Wow, okay, deep breaths. Like after all that drama and conflict, the Hermit, it's like the universe is telling you to just chill, like seriously, go hide in a cave for a while, you know? But hold on, hold on. Don't just picture yourself like becoming a total recluse and never talking to anyone ever again. That's not what this is about, okay? Let's really dig into this Hermit energy and see how it fits into your love story, especially after everything we've already uncovered. It is actually really exciting. Okay, the Hermit, like at its core, it's about introspection, solitude, and searching for inner wisdom. It is about taking the time to disconnect from the outside world so you can connect with your inner self. Like, it's about turning inward and really reflecting on your life, your values, your goals, and what truly makes you happy. It's like, imagine you're climbing to the top of a mountain and you're finally reaching the summit. And when you get there, you realize that the most important thing is not the view, but the journey you took to get there. You have time to really think about what makes you who you are, and that is so important for moving forward. I also feel like this card is about needing to go inside of yourself, like really deep inside, to figure out what is right for you. And that is what the High Priestess was saying. It is like the High Priestess and the Hermit are going to get together to help guide you through this time. I am thinking that you might be feeling super confused, right? You got the Fool, you want to go running off and doing everything that you have ever wanted to do. But like with the Five of Swords, it's like, uh-oh, not so fast, slow down, girl. The Hermit might be telling you to take a break, to stop and breathe. Okay, so in the context of your love life, I think the Hermit is telling you that it's time to take a step back and really evaluate things. Like, after all that conflict and uncertainty we saw with the Five of Swords, you need to take some time to yourself to gain some clarity and perspective. This isn't about running away from your problems, okay? It's about creating space for yourself to process your emotions, to understand your needs, and to make some informed decisions about your relationship. It's like you're taking a break from the chaos of the outside world so you can reconnect with your inner compass and figure out which direction you want to go. You know, with all the cards that have come up previously, you're probably feeling pulled in a million different directions. You have been reborn with the Judgment card, and that is a lot. Like, are you supposed to stay in the relationship? Are you supposed to leave? Are you supposed to try to fix things? Are you supposed to just give up? It's overwhelming, right? That is exactly why this Hermit card has made an appearance. The Hermit is saying, like, hold on, slow down. Before you make any rash decisions, you need to take some time to yourself to really figure out what you want. It's like you're going on a solo retreat to a quiet cabin in the woods where you can disconnect from all the noise and distractions and just focus on yourself. It is like the world has been just yelling at you. That might be why you are confused. You are probably overwhelmed with other people's opinions. Okay, so how does this Hermit energy relate to our theme of rekindling flames? Well, maybe it's about recognizing that you can't truly rekindle a flame with someone else until you've rekindled the flame within yourself. You know, like maybe you've been so focused on your partner's needs and desires that you've forgotten about your own. Or maybe you've been neglecting your own self-care and personal growth, and that's been impacting your ability to connect with your partner on a deeper level. The Hermit is going to come out when you are ready, so you can't try to force it. But remember that it is an awakening with that amber heart that you picked. The Hermit is inviting you to rediscover your passions, to reconnect with your values, and to reignite that spark within yourself. It's like you're going on a solo adventure to a place that you've always dreamed of visiting, where you can immerse yourself in new experiences and rediscover what makes you feel alive. That sounds amazing. I am a little jealous. But it is not all about yourself, you know? You can bring the lessons that you learn back to your partner. I feel like one of the key things here is self-reflection. Like, the Hermit is all about asking yourself some tough questions and being honest with yourself about the answers. Like, what are your needs and desires in a relationship? What are your boundaries? What are your patterns and behaviors that might be sabotaging your love life? And what are you truly willing to compromise on? I think that you should really think about these questions. You can take a piece of paper out and write about them. I think writing them down will really help you organize your thoughts. It will give you something tangible to look at. It is also a time to heal. If that Three of Swords is still really haunting you, then this is a time to let it go, to move on. The Hermit is going to help with the healing, and you can let go of all that hurt and anger. You should be thinking about that Star card from the beginning. Keep that hope close. You can reflect on the past, but you can also be excited for the future. You are healing and you are becoming stronger than ever. I know that you feel it. You are an incredible person, and you are going to be so much more incredible after this experience. I know that with all that Hermit energy, it can be hard to reach out. You want to be alone, but make sure that you are also talking to people. Maybe someone who you trust, or maybe a therapist. That is also very important. You are a good person and you deserve to be happy, whatever that means. Like, think about it this way. The Hermit is like a wise old sage who lives in a cave and offers guidance to those who seek it. And right now, you're the one seeking guidance. You're the one who needs to disconnect from the world and connect with your inner wisdom. And the answers you seek are already within you. You just need to create the space and the stillness to hear them. You can do it. So, okay, what does this mean for your relationship? Well, it could mean a few different things. Maybe it means that you need to take a break from your partner for a while to focus on yourself. Maybe it means that you need to have an honest conversation with your partner about your needs and desires. Or maybe it means that you need to end the relationship altogether and embark on your own solo journey. But like, the Hermit doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be completely alone, you know? It just means that you need to prioritize your own needs and your own well-being. You can still have meaningful connections with other people, but you need to make sure that those connections are supporting your growth and your happiness. And you can think of it as like you are hiking alone up a mountain to meet the wise Hermit. I think this is all really pointing back to the awakening that you picked with the Amber Heart. This is a huge time of growth for you, and you need to nurture and appreciate it. Okay, so with the Fool and the Five of Swords, it was hard to tell what was going to happen. But the Hermit feels really introspective. It feels like you are meant to take a deep breath and think about what you want. So, what's the next step? What should you do with all of this information? Well, I think the most important thing is to trust your intuition. Listen to that inner voice that's guiding you, even if it doesn't make logical sense. And don't be afraid to take some time to yourself to process everything that's been coming up. Go on a solo retreat, meditate, journal, do whatever helps you connect with your inner self. And remember that hope that we found with the Star. Hold on to that, even when things feel uncertain. Trust that the universe is guiding you towards your highest good, even if you can't see the path right now. You have been through worse, and you can get through this. And you are not alone. I know that I have been talking about being alone, but you have people in your life who care about you. Remember that. Okay, wow, this has been such an intense and insightful reading. I feel like we've really uncovered some deep truths about your love life. But of course, there's always more to explore. I am so glad that you picked the Amber Heart today. It has really provided an awakening, right? It is like everything is glowing and you can finally see clearly. So, what does this all mean for you? I think only time will tell. You need to focus on what you need. And I am really, really excited to see what happens for you. Okay, wow, so, after all of that, I'm sure you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, right? I mean, we've covered so much ground in this reading, from the hope and inspiration of the star to the introspection and solitude of the hermit. It's like the universe has taken you on a whirlwind tour of your love life, showing you all the ups and downs, the twists and turns, and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. So let's go over all the cards one last time, First, we have that beautiful star that you chose, and it represents all the optimism and hope you have, which is incredible. The High Priestess has got your back with your intuition, really guiding you to have all that wisdom you need. The Judgment card came up too, right? And that had all that talk of rebirth and renewal, like you are going to change. Then we had that Three of Swords, which was a doozy, right? It brought up old wounds and hurts that you might have been avoiding, but you faced it. You are so brave. But don't get lost there, focus on the Fool, because that says it is time for a leap of faith. And the Five of Swords, wow, it is an intense card all about the conflict. And you are really going to be in it, but you have to trust your gut and keep going forward. And now you are at the Hermit, and you are going to go deep into yourself to find those answers. Wow, what a ride. So, after all of that craziness, you might be like, okay, universe, what am I supposed to do with all of this? And that's a totally valid question. I feel like the most important message that I'm getting from the Hermit right now is that it's time to slow down, breathe, and go inward. You've been so focused on the external world, on your relationship, on your partner, on all the drama and conflict that you've forgotten to check in with yourself. You might also think, do I have to? Can I just ignore it and hope it goes away? Like I said before, the High Priestess wouldn't let you. It is super important to disconnect from all the noise and distractions and really connect with your own inner wisdom, trust your intuition, and figure out what it is that you truly want and need. And you need to do it now. The cards are all aligned for you. The Amber Heart has given you the chance to awaken. The first step, like I said, is to take some time for yourself. And I know that can be hard, especially if you're used to being in a relationship or if you have a lot of responsibilities. But it's so important to carve out some space in your life where you can just be alone with your thoughts and feelings. It is like putting on your airplane mask first, before helping other people with theirs. You can do something as simple as taking a long bath, going for a walk in nature, meditating, journaling, or reading a book. Or you could plan a whole solo retreat to a place that you've always wanted to visit. The point is to create an environment where you can disconnect from all the external noise and connect with your own inner voice. You can go to a park, you can go to the beach, you can just sit in bed and pull the covers over your head and close your eyes. And then, once you've created that space for yourself, it's time to start asking yourself some tough questions. What are your needs and desires in a relationship? What are your boundaries? What are your patterns and behaviors that might be sabotaging your love life? And what are you truly willing to compromise on? Be honest with yourself, even if the answers are uncomfortable. And don't be afraid to dig deep and explore your emotions. The Hermit is all about uncovering the truth, even if it's painful. And the star is still there, so that is a reminder to not get lost in the darkness, You still need to have hope that things will get better. But you can't have hope unless you really dig down deep, You need to really feel it, really acknowledge it. And, as you're doing this self-reflection, remember that it's okay to not have all the answers right away. The Hermit is a journey, not a destination. It's about taking the time to explore your inner landscape and to discover the wisdom that lies within you. Trust the process and be patient with yourself. You are awesome, Seriously, you are beautiful, you are kind, and you are awesome. But you have to believe that for yourself. And as you believe that about yourself, you have to remember that other people are awesome too, Like your partner, they might be just as confused as you are. They might not know what to do either. And you have to have compassion for that. And remember that even if it ends, that does not mean that it failed or that it wasn't beautiful. You have to trust that the universe is still guiding you. And I also feel like it's important to acknowledge the potential for conflict that we saw with the Five of Swords. Like if you're feeling angry or resentful towards your partner, it's important to address those feelings in a healthy and constructive way. Don't just stuff them down or let them fester. Talk to your partner about what's bothering you and try to find a way to resolve the conflict that works for both of you. But if you can't, that is okay too. You need to be able to be kind to yourself too, because it is okay to want what you want. You are not some kind of jerk for wanting what you want, you know? It is what makes you, you. And if you're struggling to communicate effectively, consider seeking professional help. A therapist or counselor can provide a safe space for you to process your emotions and develop healthy communication skills. Like there's nothing wrong with talking to someone, I feel like that star card is really encouraging it too. Okay, so, after all that you may be thinking, okay, so what are my options? The cards have kind of shown a few different things, right? So what am I supposed to do with my life? I know, the Hermit card may be confusing you even more. Well, I feel like the first option is that you stay in the relationship. You use this time of introspection to work on yourself, and you use that to rebuild your connection with your partner. The Five of Swords might go away, or you might learn to fight in a more healthy way. The star would be so happy. It will be really hard, and you have to ask yourself if you are ready to do the work. Do you have the strength? The second option, you know, like the other side of the Fool, you can leave. You use this time to really focus on yourself and find happiness on your own. You might feel a little bit sad at first, but I know that you can get through it. It might be just the right time to start anew. The Fool will really appreciate that. And it is really important for you to understand, even though it can be confusing, it can also be the right thing to do. The third option, to just go on with your life and act like nothing has happened. Ha ha ha, oh gosh, I am just kidding, like, that would be so terrible. That High Priestess is definitely screaming at you right now. You can't just keep ignoring your problems. You really do have to choose. You can't let it go on, you know? I feel like, whatever path you choose, the most important thing is to trust yourself and trust the universe. You have the wisdom and strength within you to navigate whatever comes your way. And you are not alone. Remember the amber heart at the beginning and its message, which is awakening. This isn't the end of your story, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. And I'm so excited to see what you create. You have so much potential and beauty within you. And with the Hermit, you are going to find the answers. I am truly, truly excited. Okay, wow, pile 3, clear quartz is all about protection, right? So, like, think of this reading as being surrounded by a shield of good vibes, okay? And your theme is fortified foundations, strengthening bonds and boundaries, which basically means we're looking at how to make your life super secure and, like, really rock solid. So let's dive in and see what the cards have to say, because, oh my gosh, this is going to be good. Okay, so the first card we have is the Ten of Pentacles, and like, whoa, this is a huge card, you guys. When I see this, I immediately think of, like, long-term security, family, legacy, all that good stuff. It's that feeling of, you know, you've built something that's going to last, something that's going to provide for you and your loved ones for, like, generations to come. It's not just about money, although, you know, money is definitely part of it, but it's more about a sense of belonging, of knowing that you're part of something bigger than yourself. You know what I mean. It's like you've created this beautiful tapestry of life, woven with threads of love, commitment, and shared experiences. And like, looking at this card, I get the feeling that you've really put in the work to create this amazing foundation. You've invested your time, your energy, your resources into building something that's truly special, something that's going to bring you joy and fulfillment for years to come. Maybe you've just bought a house, or you're thinking about starting a family, or you're finally feeling settled in your career. Whatever it is, there's this sense of stability and abundance that's really shining through. And like, that's so awesome, right? Because in today's world, it's so easy to feel lost and insecure, but you, my friend, you've created your own little oasis of peace and prosperity. But you know, the Ten of Pentacles isn't just about material possessions. It's also about the relationships you've built, the connections you've made, the love you've shared. It's about the people who surround you, the people who support you, the people who make you feel like you belong. And like, those relationships are so important, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. It's not about how much money you have or how big your house is. It's about the love and connection you share with the people you care about. So, take a moment to appreciate all the blessings in your life. Look around you and see all the amazing things you've created, all the wonderful people you've attracted, all the love you've shared. You know, you deserve to feel proud of yourself. You've worked hard to get where you are, and you've created something truly special. And this card can also represent, family traditions, you know? Maybe there's a certain way you celebrate holidays, or a certain dish your grandma always makes, or a certain story your grandpa always tells. Whatever it is, these traditions are part of your heritage, part of what makes you who you are. And holding on to those traditions can be a really powerful way to connect with your past and to pass on your values to future generations. Or maybe you're thinking about starting a business with a family member. That could be really successful, you know, because you already have that built-in trust and loyalty. But it's also important to set clear boundaries and expectations from the start so that you can avoid any potential conflicts down the road. And with the Ten of Pentacles, there's also this sense of giving back to your community. Maybe you're involved in a local charity, or you volunteer your time to help others, or you simply try to be a good neighbor. Whatever it is, you're making a positive impact on the world around you, and that's something to be really proud of. You know what I mean? But even with all this amazing abundance and stability, it's important to remember that nothing is ever guaranteed. Life is full of ups and downs, and things can change in an instant. So it's important to be prepared for anything that comes your way. And that's where the fortified foundations theme comes in, right? We need to make sure that our foundations are strong enough to withstand any storms that might come our way. So, how do we do that? Well, first of all, it's important to take care of ourselves, both physically and emotionally. We need to make sure we're eating healthy, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. And we also need to make sure we're managing our stress levels, practicing self-care, and seeking support when we need it. You know, and it's also important to have a clear vision for our future. What do we want to achieve? What kind of life do we want to create? Once we have a clear vision, we can start taking steps to make it a reality. And that's where the clear quartz comes in, right? It helps us to focus our intentions, to clear away any negativity, and to manifest our dreams. So, the Ten of Pentacles is all about creating a solid foundation for our lives, a foundation built on love, security, and abundance. And it's such a beautiful card, right? It's a reminder that we have the power to create the life we want, the life we deserve. But it's also a reminder that we need to be prepared for anything that comes our way, that we need to fortify our foundations so that we can weather any storm. It is also worth noting that this card doesn't often represent solo success. Look around you and see who is in your corner, supporting you and loving you. If you feel like you lack a sufficient support system, I would encourage you to seek people out. Go to meetups, join a club, or find a volunteer opportunity that allows you to work alongside like-minded individuals. The stronger your support system, the stronger your foundation. All right, so we've got this amazing foundation, right? This Ten of Pentacles energy is just radiating with stability and abundance. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Okay, so brace yourself, because the next card we have is the Nine of Swords, and oh honey, this is where things get a little bit intense. This card is all about anxiety, worry, nightmares, those really dark thoughts that keep you up at night. So, how does this anxiety interact with the Ten of Pentacles energy? Let's dig into this, because I'm already seeing a few possibilities, and oh my gosh, this is going to be juicy. Alright, so we've got the Nine of Swords, and then as a balm to that anxiety, we get the Star. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful card, you guys. Seriously, after all that stress from the Nine of Swords, the Star is like a cool drink of water on a hot day. It's all about hope, healing, inspiration, that feeling that everything is going to be okay, you know. Even when things are tough, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I think you're going to love this reading, it's just so nice. So, the Star, in general, is like a cosmic hug, you know? It's a reminder that you're not alone, that the universe is supporting you, and that even when you feel lost and confused, there's always guidance available. It's a card of faith, of trusting that things will work out for the best, even if you can't see how right now. But how does the star connect to that Ten of Pentacles energy, that foundation you've built? Well, maybe you're feeling anxious about that foundation. Maybe you're worried that it's not as secure as you thought, or that something might come along and threaten it. But the star is saying, hey, don't worry so much. You've built something strong, and even if there are challenges ahead, you have the resources and the resilience to overcome them. It's like the star is shining down on your Ten of Pentacles foundation, infusing it with hope and optimism. It's like a blessing saying, this is good, this is meant to be, and you're on the right path. But then, of course, we have to deal with that pesky Nine of Swords energy, right? How is that anxiety affecting your ability to see the hope and healing that the star is offering? Well, maybe you're so caught up in your worries that you're missing the signs of support and guidance that are all around you. Maybe you're so focused on what could go wrong that you're not appreciating all the things that are going right. The Nine of Swords can be really good at clouding our judgment and making us feel like everything is hopeless, but the star is here to remind you that that's just not true. There is always hope, always a way forward, even when you can't see it. It is possible that your anxiety stems from the fear that you don't deserve this amazing and stable life you've built for yourself. Maybe you're scared that it's all going to be taken away from you, or that you're somehow not worthy of all this abundance. If this resonates with you, now is the time to confront those feelings of unworthiness and start believing in yourself and your ability to create a happy and fulfilling life. And, the star is also about healing, right? So maybe this anxiety is a sign that you need to address some unresolved issues from your past. Maybe there are old wounds that are still affecting you or patterns of thinking that are holding you back. The star is encouraging you to be gentle with yourself, to forgive yourself for your mistakes, and to start moving forward with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. It's like the star is saying, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to have flaws. You're still worthy of love and happiness, and you have the power to create a better future for yourself. I feel like if you allow yourself to heal from the past, you will be able to fully embrace the stability and abundance that the Ten of Pentacles has to offer. It is so easy to let our past traumas and insecurities dictate our present and future, but the star is a powerful reminder that we have the ability to break free from those patterns and create a new narrative for ourselves. So, let's think about some specific scenarios where the star's hope might be needed. Maybe it's in your relationship. Maybe you and your partner have been going through a rough patch and you're starting to lose hope that things will get better. The star is saying, don't give up. There's still love there, and with some effort and communication, you can find your way back to each other. Or maybe it's in your career. Maybe you're feeling stuck in a job you hate and you're not sure how to move forward. The star is saying, believe in yourself. You have the skills and the talents to create a career that you love. Don't be afraid to take risks and pursue your passions. It is also possible that this is telling you to pursue something different entirely, and you will be supported in that pursuit. Or maybe it's in your family. Maybe there's been some conflict or tension, and you're not sure how to resolve it. The star is saying, be patient and understanding. Everyone is doing the best they can, and with some compassion and empathy, you can find a way to heal the rifts and create a more harmonious environment. It's so important to remember that healing and reconciliation are always possible, even in the most challenging situations. The star is a reminder that love and forgiveness can conquer all. And, the star is also about connecting with your inner self, right? It's about finding that spark of divinity within you, that inner light that guides you and inspires you. So, how can you nurture that connection? Maybe it's through meditation, or spending time in nature, or listening to music, or doing something creative. Whatever it is, find something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel alive, that reminds you of your own inherent worth and beauty. This could even be something as simple as taking a few minutes each day to practice gratitude. Focusing on the things you're grateful for can help shift your perspective and create a more positive outlook on life. The more you connect with your inner self, the easier it will be to access that feeling of hope and healing that the star represents. I think the star is also telling you that you need to trust your intuition and listen to your inner voice, even if it goes against what others are telling you. Your inner wisdom will always guide you in the right direction. Also, think about this clear quartz energy, right? It's all about protection and clarity. So, how can that help you with the star and the Nine of Swords? Well, the clear quartz can help you to clear away the negativity and the anxiety, to see things more clearly, and to focus on the positive. It's like the clear quartz is amplifying the hope and healing of the star, making it easier for you to manifest your dreams. You can use the clear quartz to meditate on your intentions, to visualize your ideal future, and to send out positive energy into the universe. It is important to protect yourself from negative energy during this time. The Nine of Swords indicates that you are vulnerable to anxiety and worry, so it's essential to create boundaries and shield yourself from toxic people and situations. The clear quartz can be a powerful tool in helping you maintain a positive and protected energy field. Seriously, you guys, this is so good. You have built such a strong foundation with the Ten of Pentacles. Then the Nine of Swords is an invitation to confront the worries and anxieties that may be undermining that stability. And the star comes in as such a beautiful beacon of light. It is going to help you to move forward with renewed hope, faith, and a deep sense of inner peace. This is one of those readings that just makes you feel good all over, you know? But, we're not done yet. We still have more cards to pull, so what's coming next? How will this message of hope and healing continue to unfold? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what's next because this has been such a cool reading already. I'm so excited to see what's next for you. And so without further ado, let's pull the next card. Alright, so we've got the star shining down, giving you that hope. But now, oh my gosh, here comes the Nine of Wands. Okay, so this card is all about being tested, about being on guard, about feeling like you've almost made it, but there's still one last hurdle to overcome, you know? So how does this Nine of Wands interact with everything else we've got going on? Let's dive in because, I'm already seeing some really interesting possibilities, and oh honey, this is getting so good. First of all, the Nine of Wands, it's you've been through a lot, right? You've built this amazing foundation with the Ten of Pentacles, but then you've had to deal with all this anxiety and worry from the Nine of Swords. And the star, while it's giving you hope, it's also kind of implying that you still need to heal from something. So, the Nine of Wands is okay, you've come this far, but don't let your guard down now. There's still work to be done, there are still challenges to face. You know. It is possible that you are facing challenges you created yourself by not dealing with the issues brought up by the Nine of Swords, and it manifested in the external. This may be an invitation to look inward and see how you can change course and deal with the core issue, rather than the symptom. Maybe you're feeling exhausted, you know. You've been fighting so hard to protect what you've built, and you're just tired. But the Nine of Wands is saying, you can't give up now, you're so close to the finish line. Just a little bit more effort, a little bit more resilience, and you'll make it through. It's you're standing there, battered and bruised, but you're still holding your wand, still ready to defend yourself. That's the energy of the Nine of Wands. It's about inner strength, about knowing that you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. But then, how does this connect to the Ten of Pentacles, right? Well, maybe you're feeling like your foundation is being threatened. Maybe there's someone or something that's trying to undermine what you've built. And the Nine of Wands is telling you to protect your territory, to stand your ground, to not let anyone take away what's rightfully yours. Or perhaps the Ten of Pentacles has given you a false sense of security, and the Nine of Wands is saying, don't be complacent. You still need to be vigilant, you still need to be prepared for anything that might come your way. And then, of course, we have that Nine of Swords anxiety, right? So maybe you're feeling anxious about these challenges. Maybe you're worried that you're not strong enough to overcome them. But the Nine of Wands is saying, you are stronger than you think. You've already overcome so much, and you have the inner resources to handle whatever comes next. It's the Nine of Swords is trying to bring you down, but the Nine of Wands is pushing back, saying, no, I won't let you. I will stand tall and I will defend myself. And the star? How does the star play into this? Well, like even though you're facing these challenges, even though you're feeling tested, the star is still there, shining down on you, giving you hope and inspiration. It's like the star is saying, remember why you're fighting, remember what you're protecting. You're not just protecting your material possessions, you're protecting your dreams, your values, your loved ones. And that hope, that inspiration, that's what's going to give you the strength to keep going, even when you feel like giving up. Like I'm feeling like this clear quartz is so important here, right? Because it's all about protection. So the Nine of Wands is like embodying that protective energy. It's about creating boundaries, about saying, no, I won't let you cross this line. It's about standing up for yourself and for what you believe in. And the clear quartz is helping you to stay clear and focused, to not let your emotions cloud your judgment. You know, it is super important that you do not spread yourself thin, because that is a path towards failure and exhaustion. You need to remain focused on the most important task or priority in your life right now. The clear quartz can help you with this focus, as it clarifies your intentions and removes distractions from your mind. So, let's think about some specific scenarios, right? Maybe you're in a relationship and you're feeling like your partner is taking you for granted. The Nine of Wands is saying, set some boundaries, tell them what you need, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Or maybe you're at work and you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed. The Nine of Wands is saying, don't take on too much. Learn to say no and prioritize your own well-being. This could also be a sign that your coworkers are jealous of your work ethic and success, so they are trying to undermine you and your efforts. You can use the clear quartz to create a protective barrier around yourself and your work, so you can continue to shine without being affected by their negativity. Or maybe it's in your family, and you're feeling like you're constantly being pulled in different directions. The Nine of Wands is saying, take some time for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Make sure you're taking care of your own needs so you have the energy to support others. It is so important to remember that setting boundaries is not selfish. It is necessary for your own well-being and for the health of your relationships. And this card can also represent a final test, right? You've overcome all these other challenges, but this is the last one. This is the one that's going to prove whether you're truly ready for the next level. So, the Nine of Wands is saying, don't back down now. This is your chance to shine. Show the world what you're made of. You are going to make it through this last hurdle. You are going to come out stronger and more resilient than ever before. It is like the universe is testing your resolve, making sure you are truly ready for the blessings that are coming your way. But this card is also warning you to be prepared for anything, to not let your guard down, because you never know what might be lurking around the corner. You have made it this far, and that is a testament to your strength and resilience. But the journey is not over yet. You still have one last battle to fight, one last test to pass. So, gather your strength, hold your wand high, and prepare to defend yourself against whatever comes your way. You have the power within you to overcome anything. Seriously, I'm feeling this so strongly for you. It's like you've got this amazing potential, this incredible strength, but you need to harness it, you need to focus it. And that's what the Nine of Wands is all about. It's about taking control of your life, about setting boundaries, about standing up for yourself, and not letting anyone take advantage of you. You deserve to feel safe, secure, and protected, and the Nine of Wands is here to help you create that reality. Also, don't forget to take a breath, or 2 or 3 or 12. You may be holding a lot of tension in your body, and breathwork will give you the space to deal with that. But it's also important to remember that the Nine of Wands isn't just about defending yourself. It's also about knowing when to ask for help, right? Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and you can't do it all on your own. It's okay to reach out to your friends, your family, your therapist, whoever you trust. It's okay to say, I need some support. The Nine of Wands is about being strong, but it's also about being vulnerable, about knowing your limits, and about asking for help when you need it. It's not just about protecting the borders, but also maintaining good relations with your allies. Remember the importance of community and the support system as indicated in the Ten of Pentacles. It is possible that there are people in your life who are willing to help you, but you are too proud or stubborn to ask for it. Let go of your ego and allow others to support you. You don't have to do everything on your own, and in fact, you will be much more successful if you surround yourself with people who believe in you and are willing to lend a helping hand. And that clear quartz, it's amplifying that energy of support, right? It's helping you to attract the right people into your life, people who will lift you up, people who will encourage you, people who will help you to achieve your goals. The clear quartz is not just about protecting you from negative energy, it's also about attracting positive energy, about manifesting your dreams. So, what's the overall message here, right? The Ten of Pentacles has given you this amazing foundation, but the Nine of Swords has brought up all these anxieties. The Star is reminding you of your hope and healing, and the Nine of Wands is challenging you to protect what you've built, to set boundaries, and to stand up for yourself. You have so much potential, so much strength, and the clear quartz is helping you to harness it all. This tarot reading isn't necessarily about a destination, but about an experience. It is about the experiences you are meant to overcome and meant to grow through. But we're not done yet. We still have one more card to pull, so, what's the final piece of the puzzle? How is this all going to come together? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what's next, because this has been such an amazing reading so far, and I just know that the next card is going to bring it all home. Are you ready? Because I'm so ready. Let's do this. Okay, Ace of Swords. Wow. So, after all that, after the foundation, the anxiety, the hope, and the, being on guard, here comes this Ace of Swords. And it's just bursting with, new beginnings, clarity, a fresh start, truth, It's like cutting through the fog, cutting through the confusion, and seeing things, crystal clear. It's that moment of, aha, I get it. Or, that's what I need to do. And it's an ace, so it's pure potential, pure opportunity. So, how does this Ace of Swords, how does this new clarity relate to that Ten of Pentacles energy, that sense of security and stability you've been building? Well, maybe this new idea, this fresh start, is actually going to strengthen that foundation, right? Maybe it's a new business venture that's going to bring in even more abundance, or maybe it's a new approach to your relationships that's going to deepen those connections, It's like the Ace of Swords is coming in and saying, hey, you've built something great, now let's make it even better. Or maybe, and this is just a maybe, right? Maybe this Ace of Swords is revealing a flaw in that foundation, something that needs to be addressed, something that you haven't been seeing clearly, Maybe there's a hidden debt, or a toxic relationship that's draining your energy, or a limiting belief that's holding you back. The Ace of Swords is shining a light on that, forcing you to confront it, to cut it out of your life so you can move forward with greater clarity and strength. It is also possible that you need to change how you look at your foundation altogether, and this card is pointing you in that direction. Maybe you aren't as happy as you thought, or it could point to you needing to adjust the fundamental tenets of that foundation. If you do this, it could mean that you are truly happy and content with the life you have built. Okay, so then, how does this Ace of Swords connect with that Nine of Swords anxiety, right? Because that's a big one. Well, maybe this new clarity, this fresh start, is exactly what you need to alleviate that anxiety, Maybe you've been worrying about something for so long, and the Ace of Swords is giving you the answer, the solution, the way out. It's like the Ace of Swords is cutting through all those anxious thoughts, those fears, those nightmares, and replacing them with a sense of peace and understanding. It is possible that this card means you will finally have the courage to take the steps you need to remove yourself from the situations that bring you anxiety. Or maybe, and this is another possibility, the Ace of Swords is actually triggering the anxiety, right? Maybe this new idea, this fresh start, is scary, it's unknown, it's challenging, and that's making you feel even more anxious. But the thing is, the Ace of Swords isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about embracing them. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone and facing your fears head-on. It could be that you are afraid of the unknown, but the only way to move forward is to embrace the uncertainty and trust that you have the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacles that come your way. It's like the Ace of Swords is saying, yeah, this might be scary, but you can do it. You have what it takes to succeed. So, even though it might be triggering some anxiety, ultimately, the Ace of Swords is pointing you towards a path of greater clarity, greater peace, and greater fulfillment. And then we have the Star, right? That hope, that healing, that inspiration. So, how does the Ace of Swords play into that? Well, maybe this new clarity, this fresh start, is exactly what you need to reignite your hope, to inspire you to keep going, to heal those old wounds. It's like the Star is shining down on you, and the Ace of Swords is helping you to see that light more clearly, to feel that hope more strongly. The Star is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of light, and the Ace of Swords is helping you to find that light and embrace it. Or maybe, the Ace of Swords is actually revealing something that's been blocking your ability to see that hope, to feel that healing, you know. Like maybe there's a limiting belief that's been holding you back, or a toxic relationship that's been draining your energy, or a fear that's been preventing you from pursuing your dreams. The Ace of Swords is cutting through that, clearing the way for you to connect with that inner light, to tap into that source of hope and inspiration. This could be that the people in your life may have good intentions, but they may be unintentionally causing you to dim your light. And then, of course, we have that Nine of Wands energy, that feeling of being tested, of being on guard, of having to defend what you've built, right? So, how does the Ace of Swords fit into that picture? Well, maybe this new clarity, this fresh start, is exactly what you need to overcome those challenges, to break through those barriers, to protect what's rightfully yours. It's like the Ace of Swords is giving you the strength, the courage, the determination to stand your ground and fight for what you believe in. It also could mean that this card is also arming you with the knowledge of what is to come. It will give you insight on how you can prepare and protect yourself. Or maybe the Ace of Swords is actually revealing a weakness in your defenses, something that needs to be addressed, something that you haven't been seeing clearly, you know. Like maybe you've been so focused on fighting the wrong battles, or maybe you've been using the wrong strategies, or maybe you've been neglecting a crucial aspect of your self-care. The Ace of Swords is shining a light on that, helping you to adjust your approach, to strengthen your defenses, to become even more resilient, you know. Sometimes the greatest act of self-defense is not to fight, but to walk away. The Ace of Swords can provide you with the clarity to recognize when it's time to disengage from a situation that is no longer serving you. And let's not forget about that clear quartz energy, right? That protection, that clarity. So, how is the clear quartz amplifying the message of the Ace of Swords? Well, the clear quartz is helping you to see things even more clearly, to cut through the confusion, to focus on what's truly important, you know. It's like the clear quartz is sharpening your intuition, amplifying your inner wisdom, and helping you to make the right decisions, the decisions that are aligned with your highest good. This new clarity can help you to identify the areas in your life where you need to set stronger boundaries and to communicate those boundaries effectively. The clear quartz is also helping you to protect yourself from negative energy, to shield yourself from toxic influences, to create a safe and supportive environment for yourself to thrive. You may need to make some difficult choices in order to protect your peace and well-being, but the clear quartz is there to give you the strength and courage to do what is necessary. So, what are some specific examples of how this Ace of Swords might play out in your life, right? Let's get practical. Maybe you're in a relationship and you've been struggling to communicate effectively. The Ace of Swords could represent a breakthrough in communication, a new understanding of each other's needs and desires, a fresh start in the way you relate to each other. It is likely that you will start speaking your needs and your truth in your relationship. Or maybe you're at work and you've been feeling stuck in a rut. The Ace of Swords could represent a new idea, a new project, a new opportunity that reignites your passion and helps you to move forward in your career. It is important to make sure you do not allow yourself to get burnt out by trying to change everything at once. Or maybe you're dealing with a difficult family situation and you've been struggling to find a solution. The Ace of Swords could represent a new perspective, a new approach, a new way of resolving the conflict that brings healing and harmony to the family. This could be a good time to bring up the issue with a mediator so you can finally be heard, but also come to a resolution with your family member S. You know? And This card can also represent a decision that needs to be made, right? Like maybe you've been putting off a difficult choice, but the Ace of Swords is saying, now is the time. Make a decision. Take action. Cut through the indecision and move forward with clarity and purpose. Procrastination is not going to serve you and will only make things worse. You have all the information and insight you need. You just need to trust yourself and make the leap. It is possible that the answer has been right in front of you the entire time, and you have been unwilling to acknowledge it, but it will become very clear to you now with this new perspective. This card is very powerful and is a strong indication that change is coming. Embrace it with open arms and trust that the universe is guiding you towards your highest good. Like seriously, I'm feeling this so strongly for you. It's like, you've been through so much, you've built so much, but now it's time to take it to the next level, to embrace your power, to step into your truth, and to create the life you truly deserve. And the Ace of Swords is here to guide you, to empower you, to help you to cut through the BS and create a life filled with clarity, purpose, and joy. It is such a wonderful card, and I am so excited to see how it plays out in your life. But we're not done yet. We still have one more card to pull, so, what's the final message? How is this all going to come together? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what's next, because this has been such an amazing reading so far, and I just know that the final card is going to bring it all home. Are you ready? Because I'm so ready. Let's do this. Okay, so Ace of Swords. Bam! And now we pull Temperance, which is all about, finding the perfect blend, you know? It's like you're mixing ingredients to create the perfect potion, or tuning an instrument to get the perfect sound. It is the balance, the harmony, the patience, the moderation in all things. So, after all that intense energy from the other cards, how does this Temperance card kind of come in and chill things out, right? It is like being a master chef, knowing exactly how much of each ingredient to add to create a dish that is both delicious and nourishing. How is all this going to come together? I have such a great feeling about this. So, first, let's think about that 10 of Pentacles, that solid foundation you've been building, right? How does Temperance play into that? Well, maybe Temperance is about finding balance within that foundation. Maybe you've been so focused on work and career that you've been neglecting your family or your personal life. Temperance is saying, hey, it's time to find some harmony here. It's time to create a lifestyle that supports all aspects of your well-being, not just your financial security. It is possible that this means finding a new job that offers a better work-life balance, or it could be about setting boundaries with your family so you have more time for yourself. Or maybe it's about finding a balance between tradition and innovation, right? The 10 of Pentacles is often about family traditions, but Temperance is saying, hey, it's okay to update those traditions, to make them your own, to blend the old with the new. It could mean honoring your family's history while also creating new traditions that reflect your own values and beliefs. Finding that perfect balance is what's really going to make that foundation strong and sustainable long-term, you know? And then, of course, we have that 9 of Swords anxiety, right? How does Temperance help to soothe those worries? Well, maybe Temperance is about finding moderation in your thoughts. Maybe you have a tendency to catastrophize, to jump to the worst-case scenario, to let your anxiety run wild. Temperance is saying, hey, it's time to take a step back. It's time to find some perspective, to challenge those negative thoughts, to find a more balanced way of thinking. It is so easy to get caught up in your own head, but Temperance reminds you to take a deep breath and see things from a more objective point of view. Maybe you're worrying about something that's not even likely to happen, or maybe you're blowing things out of proportion. Temperance helps you to see things as they really are, not as your anxiety makes them out to be. This can also mean finding healthy coping mechanisms for your anxiety, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. It's about finding what works for you and making it a regular part of your routine. Okay, so what about the Star, that beautiful card of hope and healing? How does Temperance work with that energy? Well, maybe Temperance is about finding balance in your healing process. Maybe you've been so focused on fixing yourself, on overcoming your past traumas, that you've been neglecting the present moment. Temperance is saying, hey, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to have setbacks. Healing is not a linear process. It's like you need to be patient with yourself, to be gentle with yourself, to allow yourself to feel all the emotions that come up, but also to remember that you are making progress, even if it doesn't always feel like it. This could also mean finding a balance between seeking help from others and relying on your own inner strength. It's important to have a support system, but it's also important to trust your own intuition and to know that you have the power to heal yourself. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're both supported and empowered. And then we have the Nine of Wands, all that defensiveness, all that feeling like you have to protect yourself. How does Temperance mellow that out? Maybe Temperance is about finding balance in your boundaries. Like, maybe you've been so focused on protecting yourself that you've become isolated or rigid in your thinking. Temperance is saying, hey, it's okay to let your guard down a little bit. It's okay to be vulnerable. Not everyone is out to get you. You have to learn to discern who is safe to trust and who is not, rather than assuming that everyone is a threat. It is so important to create healthy boundaries, but it's also important to be open to connection and intimacy. This could also mean finding a balance between assertiveness and compassion. It's important to stand up for yourself, but it's also important to do so with kindness and understanding. Temperance helps you to find that middle ground where you're both strong and loving. Now, let's bring in that Ace of Swords, that new clarity, that cutting through the BS. How does Temperance work with that sharp energy? Well, maybe Temperance is about finding balance in your truth. Like maybe you've been so focused on being right, on proving your point, that you've been neglecting the other person's perspective. Temperance is saying, hey, it's okay to listen. It's okay to compromise. There are always two sides to every story. It is so easy to get caught up in your own opinions and beliefs, but Temperance reminds you to be open to new information and to consider other points of view. This doesn't mean that you have to abandon your own truth, but it does mean that you need to be willing to see things from a different angle. This could also mean finding a balance between logic and intuition. It's important to use your mind to analyze and understand things, but it's also important to trust your gut feelings and to listen to your inner wisdom. Temperance helps you to integrate both of these aspects of yourself to make more balanced and informed decisions. You have to find a healthy balance and allow yourself to accept your own truth without condemning others. You can still show compassion as you embrace your own truth. And how does that clear quartz energy play into all of this, right? That protection, that clarity. Well, maybe the clear quartz is helping you to see where you need to find balance in your life, to identify the areas where you're out of alignment. It's like the clear quartz is amplifying your intuition, helping you to connect with your inner guidance so you can make the right choices, the choices that are aligned with your highest good. It is also protecting you from any negative energy that might be preventing you from finding that balance. The clear quartz is like a shield, deflecting anything that's not serving you, so you can focus on creating a more harmonious and fulfilling life. It is almost like you are fortifying yourself. You can use this power to make your life better. So, what are some specific examples of how this temperance energy might play out in your life, right? Let's get real. Maybe you're in a relationship and you've been fighting a lot lately. Temperance could represent finding a more balanced way of communicating, a way of listening to each other and compromising without sacrificing your own needs. It is important to consider each other and to allow space for each other's feelings. Or maybe you're at work and you've been feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Temperance could represent finding a better work-life balance, setting boundaries with your colleagues, and prioritizing your own well-being. You can't pour from an empty cup, and Temperance reminds you to take care of yourself so you can be more effective in all areas of your life. Or maybe you're dealing with a difficult family situation and you've been struggling to find a resolution. Temperance could represent finding a more moderate approach, a willingness to see things from other people's perspectives, and a commitment to finding a solution that works for everyone involved. You can show your family compassion as well. Okay, so, where does this leave us? We've got this foundation, this anxiety, this hope, this defensiveness, this new clarity, and now this need for balance. It's like You're being called to create a life that is both strong and sustainable, both fulfilling and harmonious. But we're not done yet. We still have more cards to pull, so what's the next piece of the puzzle? How is this all going to come together? I'm so excited to see what's next, because this has been such an amazing reading so far, and I just know that the next card is going to bring it all home. Are you ready? Because I'm so ready. Let's do this. Okay, so the Hermit. Wow. After all that building, all that anxiety, all that fighting, all that balancing, here comes the Hermit, and it's like, whoa, okay, it's time to go within, you know? It's time to step away from the world, from all the noise, from all the distractions, and just listen to your own inner voice, you know? It is like you're going up to the top of a mountain by yourself, just to meditate and receive wisdom from the universe. Seriously, this card is all about introspection, about finding your own answers, about understanding what truly matters to you. I'm already getting chills. So, how does the Hermit relate to that Ten of Pentacles energy, that foundation you've been building, right? Well, maybe the Hermit is saying that it's time to evaluate that foundation, to see if it's truly aligned with your soul's purpose, you know? Maybe you've been building this life based on what you think you should be doing or what other people expect of you, but the Hermit is saying, hey, is this really what you want? Is this truly fulfilling you? This card is about stepping back and questioning everything. It is about asking yourself if the life you have built is truly in alignment with your values and your deepest desires. Or maybe the Hermit is saying that you need to take some time away from that foundation, to recharge your batteries, to reconnect with yourself, so you can come back to it with fresh eyes and renewed energy, you know? It is possible that you have been so focused on building this life that you have forgotten to take care of yourself. The Hermit is reminding you that it is okay to step away and prioritize your own well-being. You can't pour from an empty cup, and taking some time for yourself will allow you to come back stronger and more effective. And then, of course, we have that Nine of Swords anxiety, right? How does the Hermit help with that? Well, maybe the Hermit is saying that the answer to your anxiety lies within you, not in the external world, you know? Maybe you've been seeking validation from others or trying to control every aspect of your life, but the Hermit is saying, hey, the only validation you need is your own. The only control you have is over yourself. This is you have to find that inner peace, that inner strength, that inner knowing that everything is going to be okay, no matter what. And you can do that by going within, by meditating, by journaling, by spending time in nature, whatever helps you to connect with your own soul, you know. Sometimes, the best way to deal with anxiety is to simply step away from the situation and allow yourself to process your emotions in a safe and supportive environment. The Hermit is encouraging you to create that space for yourself. The Star, that hope, that healing. How does the Hermit amplify that? Well, maybe the Hermit is saying that the true healing comes from within, not from external sources, you know? Maybe you've been seeking therapy, or taking medication, or relying on other people to fix you, but the Hermit is saying, hey, you have the power to heal yourself. You have the inner resources to overcome anything. Sometimes you have all the answers you need inside, but you need to make space for them to rise to the surface. It's about tapping into your own inner wisdom, your own inner guidance, your own inner healer, and trusting that you know what's best for yourself, you know? Also, it is a reminder that true healing takes time and patience. The Hermit encourages you to be gentle with yourself and to allow yourself to process your emotions at your own pace. There is no need to rush the process. And then, that Nine of Wands, feeling like you have to defend yourself all the time, right? How does the Hermit shift that energy? Well, maybe the Hermit is saying that you don't have to fight every battle, that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone, you know? Maybe you've been so focused on protecting yourself that you've become isolated and withdrawn, but the Hermit is saying, hey, it's okay to let your guard down. It's okay to be vulnerable. Not everyone is out to get you. This card is inviting you to be discerning about who you let in. Not everyone has earned access to your heart, but not everyone is the enemy. You get to choose your battles. The Hermit is helping you to find that inner peace, that inner security, that inner knowing that you are safe and protected, no matter what's happening in the external world, you know. It is possible that you have been projecting your own fears and insecurities onto others, and the Hermit is inviting you to take a step back and examine your own motivations. And then, the Ace of Swords, that clarity, that cutting through the BS, how does the Hermit refine that? Well, maybe the Hermit is saying that true clarity comes from within, not from external sources, Like maybe you've been seeking answers from experts or relying on logic and reason, but the Hermit is saying, hey, trust your intuition, trust your inner voice, you already know what's best for you. The most honest advice you could ever receive is the advice you give yourself. It's about connecting with your own inner wisdom, your own inner knowing, your own inner truth, and trusting that you have the answers you need, It is about finding the answers that resonate with you, regardless of what others may think or say. You have to trust your own judgment and make decisions that are aligned with your own values. And Temperance, finding that balance, how does the Hermit deepen that? Well, maybe the Hermit is saying that true balance comes from within, not from external sources, Like, maybe you've been seeking harmony in your relationships or trying to control your environment, but the Hermit is saying, hey, the only harmony you can control is your own. The only environment you can control is your own inner world. Inner peace will bring outer peace. It's about finding that inner center, that inner stillness, that inner peace that allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and ease, The more you connect with your inner self, the easier it will be to find balance in all areas of your life. The Hermit is a reminder that true balance comes from within. And, like that clear quartz, that protection, that clarity, it's all coming together, right? The Hermit is like embodying that energy, that inner wisdom, that inner strength, that inner knowing that you are protected, you are guided, you are loved, and you have everything you need within you to create the life you truly desire, Your intentions are made stronger when you spend time by yourself. So, what does this mean for you right now today? Well, maybe it's time to take a step back, to disconnect from the world, to reconnect with yourself, to listen to your own inner voice, and to trust that you know what's best for you, It is an invitation to step away from the noise and distractions of everyday life and to create space for introspection and self-reflection. Maybe it's time to reevaluate your foundation, to see if it's truly aligned with your soul's purpose, to make sure you're building a life that is authentic and fulfilling, not just one that looks good on paper, It is important to build a life that reflects your values and your deepest desires, not just what you think you should be doing. Maybe it's time to release those anxieties, to let go of those fears, to trust that you are safe and protected, and that everything is unfolding perfectly for your highest good, It is okay to let go of control and to trust that the universe has your back. You don't have to do everything on your own. Maybe it's time to embrace your own inner healer, to tap into your own inner wisdom, to trust that you have the power to heal yourself and to create a life filled with joy, love, and abundance, Now is the time to embrace vulnerability. You are ready to heal and ready to be healed. And maybe it's time to set some boundaries, to protect your energy, to say no to what doesn't serve you, and to say yes to what lights you up, You get to choose who and what is allowed in your life. If something doesn't feel right, honor that and don't be afraid to remove it from your life. Seriously, I'm feeling this so strongly for you. You've got this amazing potential, this incredible strength, this unwavering inner wisdom, and the Hermit is here to guide you on your journey, to help you to connect with your soul, and to create a life that is truly aligned with your highest self, The Hermit is not about isolation, but about finding your true connection with your higher power. I know that these can be intimidating changes, but you have your clear quartz with you. Use that protection and clarity to enhance your meditation or breathwork so you can take this new journey one step at a time. Just like the card says, keep your light on, and you'll know exactly where to go. The cards and the universe are always on your side, and the future is yours for the taking. All you have to do is embrace that Hermit energy and find those answers within. Okay, so you chose the opal palm stone, which is all about clarifying things, and it totally vibes with our reading theme. Unveiled truths, deeper understanding, and honesty. I feel like this reading is going to bring some serious clarity to your love life, peeling back the layers to reveal what's really going on and how you can move forward with confidence. It's like the universe wants you to see things as they truly are, no more guessing games. Okay, so let's jump into these cards because I'm already so excited. Alright, so the first card we have is the Knight of Wands, and oh my goodness, this is like pure fire energy. This knight is all about passion, adventure, and just diving headfirst into things. When it comes to love, this could mean a few different things, right? It could signal a new, exciting person entering your life, someone who's going to sweep you off your feet with their enthusiasm and charm. Or, if you're already in a relationship, it could mean reigniting the spark, bringing back that initial excitement and passion that maybe has faded a little bit. You know, like planning spontaneous dates, trying new things together, just shaking things up a bit. It's like, hey, let's go on a road trip. Energy, you know what I mean? But here's the thing about the Knight of Wands. He can be a little impulsive, sometimes acting before thinking things through. So, it's important to temper that fiery energy with a bit of caution and awareness. Don't just jump into anything without considering the consequences. Like, don't quit your job and elope to Vegas with the first person who gives you butterflies, okay? Maybe, think it through a little bit first. Okay, so then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is the complete opposite of the Knight of Wands in some ways. This card is all about patience, hard work, and long-term investment. It's about planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, knowing that good things take time. In the context of a love reading, this card is super interesting because it suggests that you're willing to put in the effort to cultivate a lasting relationship. You're not just looking for a quick fling or a temporary fix. You're looking for something real and meaningful, something that will stand the test of time. This card also speaks to the importance of evaluating your investments, taking stock of what you've put in and what you're getting out. Are you putting in more effort than you're receiving? Are you feeling fulfilled and appreciated in the relationship? If not, it might be time to reassess and make some adjustments. It's like, are you watering a plant that's actually thriving, or are you just wasting your time and energy on something that's never going to bloom? You know what I mean? And the thing about the Seven of Pentacles is that it's not always about immediate gratification. Sometimes the rewards come later, after you've put in the work and waited patiently. So don't get discouraged if you're not seeing results right away. Just keep watering those seeds, keep nurturing the relationship, and trust that eventually you'll reap the rewards. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because we also have the Strength card. Oh my gosh, this card is all about inner power, courage, and resilience. It's about facing your fears and overcoming challenges with grace and compassion. In a love reading, this card suggests that you have the strength to navigate any obstacles that come your way, whether it's dealing with difficult emotions, setting boundaries, or communicating your needs effectively. The Strength card is also about taming your inner beast, controlling your impulses, and acting with kindness and understanding. It's about finding that balance between assertiveness and gentleness, knowing when to stand your ground and when to offer compassion. Think about it like this. The lion represents your raw emotions and instincts, and the woman represents your inner strength and wisdom. She's not trying to suppress the lion. She's simply guiding it with love and understanding. It's about finding that harmony within yourself. So, when we put all three cards together, the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Strength card, we get this really beautiful and complex picture of your love life. It's like you're starting off with this initial spark of passion and excitement, that Knight of Wands energy. Maybe it's a new relationship, maybe it's reigniting the flame in an existing one. But then, you're also realizing that it takes more than just passion to make a relationship work. That's where the Seven of Pentacles comes in. You're willing to put in the effort, to invest your time and energy, to nurture the connection and help it grow. But here's the key. You need the Strength card to navigate the challenges that inevitably arise. Relationships aren't always easy, right? There will be disagreements, there will be misunderstandings, there will be times when you feel like giving up. But the Strength card reminds you that you have the inner resources to overcome those obstacles. You have the courage to communicate your needs, the compassion to understand your partner's perspective, and the resilience to keep going even when things get tough. Think of it like this. The Knight of Wands is the initial spark, the Seven of Pentacles is the ongoing effort, and the Strength card is the glue that holds it all together. It's about finding that balance between passion, patience, and inner power. And honestly, I think you're totally capable of doing that. The fact that these cards came up together is a really good sign. It shows that you're on the right path, that you have the tools and resources you need to create a fulfilling and lasting love story. And remember, the opal palm stone is all about clarification. So, as you navigate this next chapter of your love life, keep asking yourself, what are the truths that need to be unveiled? What are the deeper understandings that need to be reached? What are the honest conversations that need to be had? The more you focus on clarity and honesty, the stronger your connection will become. Like I said, it's all about peeling back the layers and seeing things as they truly are, and the path will light up for you. You know, I'm getting a sense that this reading is really about finding a balance between your head and your heart. The Knight of Wands is all heart, all passion, all impulse. The Seven of Pentacles is a little more grounded, a little more practical. And the Strength card is about finding that inner wisdom, that place where your head and your heart can work together in harmony. It's like you might be tempted to just follow your heart and jump into things without thinking. But the Seven of Pentacles is reminding you to be patient, to be thoughtful, to consider the long-term implications of your actions. And the Strength card is reminding you that you have the inner wisdom to make the right choices, to navigate the complexities of love with grace and compassion. So, my advice to you is to embrace the passion and excitement of the Knight of Wands, but also to be mindful of the Seven of Pentacles and the Strength card. Don't just rush into things blindly. Take the time to evaluate your investments, to communicate your needs, to find that inner balance. And trust that you have the strength to overcome any challenges that come your way. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see what happens next in your love story. I mean, seriously, this is like the beginning of a really good romance novel. I'm on the edge of my seat here. And remember, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to uncover, so many more layers to peel back. So, let's keep going and see what else the cards have in store for us, okay? Are you ready for the next card? Because I definitely am. I feel like we're just getting started and there's so much more to explore. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, okay, are you ready? Because this is a big one. The next card is Judgment. Okay, so wow, this is huge, you know? Judgment is all about waking up like a major wake-up call. It's about a time of reckoning, a time when you're being called to make a decision, a big decision. In the context of your love life, this could mean so many things, right? It's are you being called to finally commit to this person? Or are you being called to finally let go and move on? You know, it's that kind of energy. It's not a wishy-washy card. It's very direct. It's like the universe is saying, okay, it's time to face the music. It's time to make a choice. And it's not necessarily an easy choice, but it's a necessary one, you know. Think of it like you've been asleep at the wheel, maybe, and now you're suddenly jolted awake, and you're like, whoa, where am I going? What am I doing? That's Judgment energy. And this card coming up after the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Strength card, it's wow, it all makes so much sense. You know, you had that initial spark of passion, you were willing to put in the work, you found the inner strength to navigate the challenges, and now it's time to decide, is this really the path you're meant to be on? Is this relationship truly aligned with your highest self? Or, you know, is it time to release it with love and move on to something better? You know what I mean? It's heavy, I know, but it's also super empowering because it means you have the power to choose. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're not stuck in a situation you don't want to be in. You have the agency to create the love life you truly desire. But the first step is to, really see things clearly, to strip away the illusions and the wishful thinking, and the stories you've been telling yourself, and to really get honest about what's going on. And that's where the opal palm stone comes in, right? Because it's all about clarification. This card is like shining a bright light on your relationship, illuminating all the hidden corners, revealing all the unspoken truths. And it might not always be pretty, you know? There might be things you don't want to see, things you've been avoiding. But the more you embrace the clarity, the more you'll be able to make a conscious, empowered decision about your future. It's like, are you going to keep hitting the snooze button, or are you going to wake up and take control of your life? You know, that's the question judgment is asking you. Also, judgment is so much about releasing the past, you know? Like, letting go of old patterns, old beliefs, old hurts that are holding you back. It's like you've been carrying around this baggage for so long, and now it's time to finally unpack it and let it go. Maybe you've been clinging to a relationship that's no longer serving you because you're afraid of being alone, or because you feel like you've invested too much time and energy to just walk away. Or maybe you're still holding on to resentment or anger from past hurts, preventing you from moving forward. You know, judgment is saying, it's time to forgive. It's time to release. It's time to move on. It's like you've been living in the past for too long, and now it's time to step into the present and create a new future. And that doesn't necessarily mean leaving your current relationship, you know? It could also mean releasing old patterns within the relationship, forgiving each other for past mistakes, and creating a fresh start. It's like you're hitting the reset button and saying, okay, we're not going to let the past define us anymore. We're going to create a new way of being together. But either way, the key is to release the baggage, to let go of the old stories, and to step into the present with a clean slate. You know, think about it like this. You're shedding your old skin like a snake and emerging as a new, more empowered version of yourself. And that can be scary, you know? It can be uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly liberating. It's like you're finally free to be yourself, free to create the life you truly want, free to love and be loved in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. And with the Strength card we pulled, it's like you absolutely have the power to do this. You just have to believe in yourself and trust that you're on the right path. And like, judgment is also about forgiveness, you know. Like forgiving yourself and forgiving your partner. It's about recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, everyone has flaws, and everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. Maybe you've made mistakes in the relationship, maybe you've said things you regret, maybe you've acted in ways that weren't aligned with your values. You know, it's okay, we all do it. The important thing is to forgive yourself, to learn from your mistakes, and to move forward with compassion and understanding. And it's also about forgiving your partner, you know? Maybe they've hurt you in the past, maybe they've betrayed your trust, maybe they've fallen short of your expectations. It's important to acknowledge your pain, to honor your feelings, but also to be willing to forgive. Because holding onto resentment and anger only hurts you in the long run. It's like you're drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning their behavior. It doesn't mean pretending that nothing happened. It simply means releasing the negative energy that's keeping you stuck. It means choosing to let go of the past and to move forward with an open heart. And that can be really hard, you know? It takes courage, it takes vulnerability, it takes a willingness to see things from a different perspective. But it's so worth it, because forgiveness is the key to freedom, the key to healing, the key to creating a loving and lasting relationship. You know? And again, that opal palm stone is just screaming clarity. Here you need to see the situation with clear eyes to even begin the forgiveness process. And you know what else? Judgment is about seeing things with new eyes, like a completely fresh perspective. It's about rising above the drama, the pettiness, the everyday struggles, and seeing the bigger picture. It's like you've been so caught up in the details, so focused on the little things, that you've lost sight of what's truly important. Now it's time to step back and see the relationship with a wider lens, you know? What are the underlying patterns? What are the core issues? What are the unmet needs? And more importantly, what are the possibilities? What could this relationship become if you were both willing to let go of the past, to forgive each other, and to create a new vision for the future? It's like you're reevaluating everything from the ground up. You're questioning your assumptions, you're challenging your beliefs, you're exploring new ways of being together. And that can be scary, you know? It can feel like you're stepping into the unknown. But it's also incredibly exciting, because it means you have the opportunity to create something truly special, something that's aligned with your highest selves. It's like you're not just settling for what you've always known, you're actively choosing to create a relationship that's based on love, respect, honesty, and mutual growth. You know. And that's where the Knight of Wands comes back in, right? Because you need that initial spark of passion, that willingness to take a leap of faith. But you also need the Seven of Pentacles, that commitment to putting in the work, to nurturing the relationship over time. And you absolutely need the Strength card, that inner power to navigate the challenges and to stay true to yourself no matter what. So, like putting it all together, Judgment is saying, wake up, it's time to make a decision. Release the past, forgive yourself and your partner, and see the relationship with new eyes. You have the power to create a love life that's aligned with your highest self. Are you ready to choose it? I mean, seriously, this is like a movie moment. This is where the hero has to make a life-altering decision, and everything hangs in the balance. I'm so excited for you. I know you can do this. And remember, the opal palm stone is here to guide you, to help you see things clearly, to help you make the right choice. Trust your intuition, trust your inner wisdom, and trust that the universe is supporting you every step of the way. Okay, so what does this all really mean for you practically speaking? Well, I think it means it's time to have some really honest conversations, you know? Sit down with your partner and really talk about what's working and what's not working in the relationship. Be honest about your feelings, your needs, your desires, and be willing to listen to your partner's perspective, even if it's hard to hear. It's like you're clearing the air, you're laying all your cards on the table, and you're creating a space for real, authentic communication. And it might be uncomfortable, you know? There might be tears, there might be disagreements. But it's so worth it, because it's the only way to create a truly solid foundation for the future. And it also means being willing to take action, you know? Don't just talk about it, do something about it. If you're feeling stuck in a rut, try something new. Go on a date, take a class together, plan a trip. If you're feeling disconnected, make an effort to spend more quality time together, to really listen to each other, to show each other affection. It's like you're actively investing in the relationship, you're showing your partner that you care, and you're creating positive momentum for the future. And if, after all of this, you realize that the relationship is truly not serving you, then it's okay to let go, you know? It's okay to walk away. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It simply means you're choosing to honor yourself, to honor your needs, and to create space for something better to come into your life. And trust me, the universe will always support you when you're making choices that are aligned with your highest good. Okay, this is so intense. I feel like we're on the verge of a major breakthrough here. But there are still 3 cards to go, so who knows what else is in store for us. I am seriously so ready to see what happens next. Are you? This is like the climax of the movie, and I'm on the edge of my seat. What are the next cards gonna reveal? What's the final outcome going to be? Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, so wow, the High Priestess. Okay, so this card is so interesting, especially after the Judgment card, you know? The High Priestess is all about intuition and trusting your gut and diving deep into your subconscious. She's the ultimate mystic, you know? She's the keeper of secrets, the guardian of the unknown, and she's all about listening to that still, small voice inside of you. Not like the Knight of Wands screaming voice, but a whisper, a knowing. So, in general, the High Priestess is all about looking beyond the surface, you know? There's more to the story than what you can see with your eyes. It's about trusting your intuition, even when it doesn't make sense logically, or other people don't get it. It's about connecting with your inner wisdom and allowing that to guide you. She's all about mysteries and secrets and things that are hidden. This card asks you to trust yourself enough to understand and follow your intuition above all else. What's so awesome is that she's not impulsive, that Knight of Wands, right? She's the opposite of that. She's super receptive, she's patient, she's wise. You know, she's okay, universe, show me what I need to see. And the High Priestess is also really connected to the moon, you know? The moon is all about emotions and intuition and the subconscious. So this card is tapping into that lunar energy and allowing your emotions to guide you, but not in a crazy way, but more like using your emotions as a compass. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, you know? How does the High Priestess connect to the Judgment card? Because judgment is like a big, loud wake-up call, right? And the High Priestess is so quiet and subtle. Well, I think the High Priestess is like the inner guidance system that helps you navigate that wake-up call, you know? Judgment is like, okay, it's time to make a decision. But the High Priestess is like, okay, but before you make that decision, let's go inside and see what your intuition has to say about it. You know. It's like judgment is the call to action, and the High Priestess is the inner wisdom that helps you choose the right action. Like, judgment is saying, wake up and face the truth, and the High Priestess is saying, okay, but what is the truth? Let's look beneath the surface and see what's really going on. So, together they're like a super powerful combination, because you have both the clarity of judgment and the intuition of the High Priestess, you know? And it's interesting because with that opal palm stone, which is all about clarification, it's like the High Priestess is helping you clarify things on a deeper level, you know? Like not just the surface level stuff, but the really deep hidden stuff that you might not even be aware of. You might not even be able to articulate it. It's like you just have a feeling, a knowing, a sense that something is right or wrong. And the High Priestess is saying, trust that feeling, trust that knowing. It's guiding you in the right direction. So, like in the context of your love life, this is huge, you know? Because after the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, the Strength card, and then Judgment, you're at this major crossroads, right? You're being called to make a big decision about your relationship. And the High Priestess is saying, okay, before you make that decision, let's check in with your intuition. What does your gut tell you about this relationship? What are the unspoken truths that need to be addressed? You know, maybe there's something you've been ignoring or something you've been afraid to admit to yourself. Maybe there's a part of you that knows this relationship isn't right for you, but you've been trying to ignore it. Or maybe there's a part of you that knows this relationship has potential, but you need to address some deep-seated issues. You know, the High Priestess is saying, it's time to get honest with yourself. It's time to listen to your inner voice. It's time to trust your intuition. And it's not always easy, you know, because sometimes our intuition tells us things we don't want to hear. Sometimes it challenges our beliefs or our expectations or our desires. But the High Priestess is saying, it's okay, you can handle it. You have the strength to face the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. So, like practically speaking, what does this mean for you? Well, I think it means you need to spend some time alone, you know. Like disconnect from the outside world and connect with yourself. Meditate, journal, go for a walk in nature, do whatever helps you get in touch with your inner voice. And ask yourself some tough questions, you know? Is this relationship truly aligned with my highest self? Am I being honest with myself about my feelings? What are my deepest fears and desires in this relationship? And be willing to listen to the answers, even if they're not what you expect. And it's also important to pay attention to your dreams, you know, because the subconscious often communicates through dreams. So, keep a dream journal and write down any dreams that feel significant. And then, try to interpret them, you know? What are they trying to tell you about your love life? What are the hidden messages? And it could be, you know, you're dreaming of a past situation and you just realize what a huge mistake you have been making. The High Priestess will use all available avenues to reach you. And the High Priestess is also about, like, trusting the timing of things, you know? Like, sometimes we want answers right away, but the universe doesn't always work that way. Sometimes we need to be patient and allow things to unfold in their own time. So, the High Priestess is saying, don't rush things, trust the process. The answers will come when you're ready to receive them. It is like, you need to be still to hear them. Otherwise, the Knight of Wands just takes over. But like, it's not all sunshine and roses, you know. There can be challenges with the High Priestess too. One of the biggest challenges is like getting lost in your own head, you know? Like overthinking things or getting caught up in your own fantasies or becoming too detached from reality. The High Priestess is all about the inner world, but it's important to remember that there's also an outer world, you know. You can't just live in your head all the time. You need to balance your intuition with logic and reason. And another challenge is, like, becoming too secretive or withholding information from your partner. The High Priestess is about keeping secrets, but it's important to remember that honesty and transparency are also essential in a healthy relationship. You can't build a strong foundation if you're not being honest with each other. It's about being selective with what you reveal. You know, the Knight of Wands reveals everything right away. So, how do you navigate these challenges? Well, I think it's about finding that balance between intuition and logic, between the inner world and the outer world, between secrecy and honesty. It's about trusting your gut, but also being willing to communicate your feelings and needs to your partner. It's about being open to new perspectives, but also staying true to yourself. It's about being both a mystic and a pragmatist, you know? And it's also important to remember that the High Priestess is not about making decisions for you, you know? She's not going to tell you what to do. She's simply providing you with the information you need to make your own choices. She's like the librarian who helps you find the right book, but you still have to read it yourself. She guides you, but then you have to use your own judgment. So, overall, I think the High Priestess is a really powerful card in this reading, you know. It's saying that you have the inner wisdom to navigate this major turning point in your love life. You have the intuition to see through the illusions and uncover the hidden truths. You have the strength to make the right decision, even if it's a difficult one. And with the opal palm stone there to help clarify things, I just feel like you're totally equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Seriously, this is so exciting. And remember how the reading is themed around unveiled truths? Well, the High Priestess is like the ultimate truth unveiler, you know? She's all about peeling back the layers of illusion and revealing what's really going on beneath the surface. So, this card is totally aligned with the overall theme of the reading. So, what's next? I have no idea. But I feel like the next card is going to reveal even more about this situation, you know? It's going to shed even more light on the path ahead. And I seriously can't wait to see what it is. Are you ready? Okay. Deep breaths, because here we go. The next card is the Nine of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, this is so interesting after everything we've already pulled, you know? So the Nine of Pentacles, visually, it's all about a woman who's totally put together, right? She's in this beautiful garden, she's got money, she's got nice clothes, she's got a falcon on her hand, you know, she's just living her best life. On her own. So at first glance, this card is all about independence, self-sufficiency, luxury, you know, she's made it on her own, she doesn't need anyone else, she's got her own thing going on. And that can be a really amazing thing, right? Especially after all the, intense relationship energy we've been talking about with the other cards. But it's also important to look a little deeper, you know? Because sometimes the Nine of Pentacles can also represent a kind of loneliness or a feeling of isolation, you know? She's got everything she could ever want, but is she truly happy? Does she have someone to share it with? Or is she just surrounded by stuff but lacking real connection? You know what I mean? So how does this connect to everything else we've pulled? Well, think about the Knight of Wands, right? That's all about passion and excitement and jumping into things head first. And then we had the Seven of Pentacles, which is about putting in the work and waiting for the results. And then the Strength card, which is about inner power and resilience. And then, the Judgment card, which is about making a big decision and waking up to the truth. And the High Priestess, who is all about trusting intuition. So, it's almost like this Nine of Pentacles is the result of all that, you know? You've gone through all this stuff, you've put in the work, you've found your inner strength, you've made some tough decisions, and now you're at this place where you're okay, I can do this on my own. I don't need anyone else. And that can be a really empowering feeling, you know? Especially if you've been feeling dependent on someone else, or if you've been in a relationship that wasn't serving you. But it's also important to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Or am I just settling for this because I'm afraid of getting hurt again? You know, am I using my independence as a shield to protect myself from vulnerability? Or am I truly happy and fulfilled on my own? And the thing about the Nine of Pentacles is that it's not necessarily a permanent state, you know? It's not like you're stuck in this independent, self-sufficient mode forever. It's more like a phase or a stage that you're going through. It's a time to focus on yourself, to build your confidence, to create a life that you love. And then, when you're ready, you can open yourself up to a relationship again, but this time, you'll be coming from a place of strength and self-worth, you know? You won't be looking for someone to complete you, you'll be looking for someone to complement you, someone to share your amazing life with. It's like you want someone to enhance the party, not someone you need to have a party. You know. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because, the Nine of Pentacles can also be a sign that you're not being open enough to love, you know? You're so focused on your own independence and self-sufficiency that you're pushing people away, or you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Maybe you've been hurt in the past, and you're afraid of getting hurt again, so you're building walls around your heart. Or maybe you just don't think you have time for a relationship, because you're so busy with your career or your hobbies or whatever. But the Nine of Pentacles is asking you to consider, are you really being true to yourself? Are you really living the life you want to live? Or are you just hiding behind your independence? Because sometimes the greatest joy in life comes from sharing it with someone else, you know? From having that deep connection with another person, from knowing that you're not alone in the world. And of course, that's a risk. Opening yourself up to love is always a risk. But it's also a risk worth taking, you know? Because the rewards can be so great. So, in the context of your love life, this card is really asking you to examine your relationship with yourself, you know? How do you feel about being alone? Are you comfortable in your own skin? Do you love and accept yourself unconditionally? Because, the better you feel about yourself, the more likely you are to attract a healthy, loving relationship. It's you have to love yourself first before you can truly love someone else. And it's also asking you to examine your beliefs about relationships, you know? Do you believe that you need someone else to be happy? Or do you believe that you can be happy on your own, but a relationship can enhance your happiness? Do you believe that relationships are hard work and require a lot of sacrifice? Or do you believe that relationships can be fun and easy and mutually beneficial? Because, your beliefs will shape your reality, you know. If you believe that relationships are hard, then you're going to attract relationships that are hard. But if you believe that relationships can be easy and fun, then you're going to attract relationships that are easy and fun. So, it's really important to get clear on your beliefs and to make sure that they're aligned with what you truly want. And this card is also about abundance, you know. The woman in the picture is surrounded by abundance. She has everything she needs. And that's a reminder that you are also surrounded by abundance, you know? You have everything you need to create a life that you love. You have the talent, the skills, the resources, the connections. You just need to believe in yourself and take action. And that abundance can also extend to your love life, you know? There are plenty of amazing people out there who would love to be with you. You just need to be open to the possibility and put yourself out there. And don't be afraid to be picky, you know? Don't settle for someone who doesn't treat you right, or who doesn't share your values, or who doesn't make you laugh. You deserve someone who appreciates you for who you are and who supports your dreams. It's about knowing your worth and not settling for less. This card is seriously radiating, know your worth. So, overall, the Nine of Pentacles is a really complex card, you know? It's about independence and self-sufficiency, but it's also about potential loneliness and isolation. It's about abundance and luxury, but it's also about knowing your worth and not settling for less. It's about examining your relationship with yourself and your beliefs about relationships. And how does this all tie back to the opal palm stone and the theme of unveiled truths? Well, I think the Nine of Pentacles is asking you to be honest with yourself about what you really want in a relationship, you know? To unveil the truths about your own desires and needs, and to not be afraid to go after them. I just keep seeing this message of, being honest above all else. Okay, so, what does this mean for you practically speaking? I think it means it's time to take some time for yourself, you know? To focus on your own goals and dreams, to build your confidence, to create a life that you love. And don't be afraid to be alone for a while, you know? It's okay to be single. It's okay to not have a partner. It's okay to just focus on yourself. Because the better you feel about yourself, the more likely you are to attract a healthy, loving relationship. You are preparing yourself, but are you over-preparing? That is the question. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to see what the final card is going to be, you know? Because this is such a pivotal moment in your love story. Are you ready to be independent, or do you want a deep, meaningful partnership? And the next card is going to reveal, what the universe has in store for you. I'm seriously on the edge of my seat here. Are you ready? Because here we go. Oh my goodness, are you seeing this? The Hanged Man. Okay, so this card is intense, right? At first glance, it looks kind of scary, I know, but trust me, it's not as bad as it seems. The Hanged Man is all about, surrender and sacrifice and seeing things from a totally different perspective. He's hanging upside down, right? So he's literally seeing the world in a different way. And it's so interesting that this card came up after the Judgment card and the High Priestess, because it's you've made this big decision, you've listened to your intuition, and now you have to surrender, you have to let go, you have to trust that everything is happening for a reason. I mean, wow. It's almost like the universe is saying, okay, you've done your part, you've made your choice, now it's time to release control and let me take over. And that can be really scary, especially if you're a control freak like so many of us are, right? But the Hanged Man is reminding you that sometimes the best thing you can do is to surrender, to let go of your expectations, and to trust that everything will work out for the best. It's about trust. And it really ties into that Nine of Pentacles, too, because you were becoming so independent, right? So self-sufficient. And the Hanged Man could be a call to surrender some of that independence, to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to let someone else in. Or it could mean surrendering the idea that you have to be in a relationship. The sacrifice might be the idea of a relationship itself. Think about it. Maybe you've been trying so hard to control your love life, to find the perfect partner, to make things work a certain way. And the Hanged Man is saying, okay, stop. Just stop. Let go of your expectations, let go of your agenda, and let the universe surprise you. Are you gripping so hard that you're pushing everything away? And the sacrifice thing is really interesting, too. Because the Hanged Man is willingly hanging upside down, right? He's not being forced to do it. He's choosing to sacrifice his own comfort, his own perspective, for a greater purpose. So, what is the sacrifice that you're being called to make in your love life? Maybe it's sacrificing your ego, your pride, your need to be right. Maybe it's sacrificing your expectations about what a relationship should look like. Maybe it's sacrificing your time, your energy, your resources. It's about giving something up in order to gain something even better. It's a trade. It's okay, universe, I'm willing to give up this thing that I'm clinging to if it means I can have something even more amazing. And this card is so connected to the theme of unveiled truths because it's all about seeing things from a new perspective. It's about looking at the situation in a completely different way and realizing that there's more to the story than you thought. It's you've been so focused on one particular angle, one particular outcome, that you've been missing the bigger picture. And the Hanged Man is helping you to see that bigger picture, to understand what's really going on beneath the surface. Are you willing to see it? It's almost like you've been walking around with blinders on, and the Hanged Man is taking those blinders off and saying, okay, look around. What do you see? What have you been missing? And that can be really uncomfortable, because it might mean facing some uncomfortable truths, facing some things that you've been avoiding. But it's also incredibly liberating, because it means you're finally seeing things as they truly are, and you're able to make choices that are aligned with your highest self. So, really connect with the opal palm stone, hear what truth is being unveiled. Maybe you've been telling yourself a story about your love life that's just not true, Maybe you've been saying, I'm not good enough, or I'll never find love, or all men are jerks. And the Hanged Man is saying, okay, that's just a story. It's not the truth. The truth is that you are worthy of love, you are capable of finding love, and there are good people out there. Or maybe you've been telling yourself a story about a particular relationship, Maybe you've been saying, this is the one, or we're meant to be together, even though deep down, it's not working. And the Hanged Man is saying, okay, that's just a story. It's time to face the truth. This relationship is not serving you, and it's time to let it go. Wow, deep stuff. And practically speaking, what does this mean for you? Well, I think it means it's time to take some time for yourself, to disconnect from the outside world and to connect with your inner wisdom. Meditate, journal, go for a walk in nature, do whatever helps you to get in touch with your intuition. And ask yourself some tough questions, What am I clinging to? What am I afraid to let go of? What is the truth that I'm avoiding? And be willing to listen to the answers, even if they're not what you expect. Because the Hanged Man is all about trusting your intuition, even when it doesn't make sense logically. It's about following your heart, even when it leads you down a path that's different from what you expected. Something else I'm realizing is that the Hanged Man can also represent a period of waiting, a period of limbo, where you're not really sure what's going to happen next. You're just kind of hanging there, suspended in time, waiting for something to change. And that can be really frustrating, especially if you're used to being in control, used to making things happen. Are you feeling impatient? But the Hanged Man is reminding you that sometimes the best thing you can do is to just be patient, to trust the timing of the universe, and to know that everything will unfold in its own time. It's like you've planted the seeds, you've watered them, and now you just have to wait for them to grow. You can't force it, you can't rush it, you just have to be patient and trust that the harvest will come. The Seven of Pentacles really comes back in here, doesn't it? And this card also makes me think about the Strength card we pulled earlier, because it's all about inner power and resilience. It's about facing your fears and overcoming challenges with grace and compassion. And the Hanged Man is definitely a challenge, because it's asking you to surrender, to let go, to trust the unknown. But you have the strength to do it. You have the inner resources to navigate this period of uncertainty. You've tamed the lion, now you have to trust yourself. It's like you've been through so much already, you've learned so much about yourself, and you're now stronger and wiser than ever before. And the universe is trusting you to handle this challenge, to make the right choices, to create a love life that's aligned with your highest self. Okay, I am seriously on the edge of my seat here. This is such a pivotal moment in your love story. You're at this major crossroads, you're being called to make a big decision, and you're being asked to surrender and trust the unknown. And what's going to happen next? I have no idea. But I feel like the next card is going to reveal even more about this situation. It's going to shed even more light on the path ahead. It's all building up. And it's so cool that we're doing this reading with the opal palm stone, because it's all about clarification, and the Hanged Man is all about seeing things from a new perspective. And together, they're like a super powerful combination for unveiling the truths about your love life. I really can't wait. You're so close. Are you ready for this last card? I am so ready. What is the universe going to reveal? Let's find out. Okay, so after all of that, after the Knight of Wands and that initial spark, and after putting in the hard work of the Seven of Pentacles, and finding your inner strength, and then that huge wake-up call from Judgment, and tapping into your intuition with the High Priestess, and then navigating that independence with the Nine of Pentacles, and finally surrendering to the universe with the Hanged Man, we get to the Five of Wands. Okay, so, at first glance, this card can seem a little chaotic, right? You see all these people with wands, and they're, clashing and fighting, and it just looks like a big mess. And honestly, that's kind of what it can feel like sometimes, Life just feels like one big conflict after another. But here's the thing about the Five of Wands. It's not necessarily about, real, serious conflict. It's more about, minor disagreements and competition and just trying to find your place in the world, It's about figuring out who you are and what you believe in, and then standing up for those things, even when it's not easy. It's about different people competing for attention or resources, and it can feel like, everyone's trying to get ahead, and it's hard to even be heard. Think of it like a group of people brainstorming ideas, Everyone's got their own opinion, everyone's trying to get their point across, and it can get a little heated sometimes. But ultimately, the goal is to come up with the best possible solution, even if it means a little bit of conflict along the way. It can be like a family gathering, where everyone's got their own quirks and opinions, and things can get a little tense, but at the end of the day, you still love each other. And even if it seems negative, what can you do with it? That's the biggest question. Or it can be like trying to navigate a new relationship, You and your partner have different backgrounds, different communication styles, different ways of seeing the world, and it's inevitable that you're going to clash sometimes. But the key is to communicate openly and honestly, to respect each other's differences, and to find a way to compromise. That Strength card helps you with communication. So, in the context of your love life, the Five of Wands can represent a few different things. It could mean that you're facing some minor disagreements or conflicts with your partner, or with potential partners, It could mean that you're feeling like you're competing for attention, or that you're not being heard. It could mean that you're struggling to find your place in the relationship, or that you're not sure how to communicate your needs effectively. Like, maybe you're saying things, but they're not landing the way you want them to. It's like, you have to figure out how to get your point across. But the Five of Wands can also be a sign that you're growing and evolving as a person, and that you're learning how to stand up for yourself and what you believe in. It's like, you're finding your voice, you're setting boundaries, and you're not afraid to express your opinions, even when they're different from others. And that's a really important thing, Because in order to have a healthy, fulfilling relationship, you have to be true to yourself. You can't just agree with everything your partner says or pretend to be someone you're not. You have to be willing to express your own unique perspective, even if it means a little bit of conflict along the way. And the Five of Wands is reminding you that it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to have conflict. What matters is how you handle it. It's about approaching conflict with respect, with compassion, and with a willingness to find a solution that works for both of you. It's about that balance we talked about. That Strength card is so key. Now how does it all connect back, right? Like, how do you use all of those other cards to navigate this Five of Wands energy? Well, first of all, you have that fiery energy of the Knight of Wands, right? That passion, that enthusiasm, that willingness to jump into things head first. You can use that energy to fuel your communication, to express your opinions with confidence, and to stand up for what you believe in. But you also need to temper that energy with the groundedness of the Seven of Pentacles, right? That patience, that willingness to put in the work, that understanding that good things take time. You can use that energy to approach conflict with a long-term perspective, to be willing to compromise, and to understand that it's not always about winning, it's about finding a solution that works for everyone involved. And then you have that inner strength of the Strength card, right? That courage, that compassion, that ability to tame your inner beast. You can use that energy to approach conflict with grace and understanding, to be willing to listen to your partner's perspective, and to find a way to communicate your needs without being aggressive or defensive. Like, are you trying to win? Or are you trying to get your point across? And then, of course, you have that wake-up call from Judgment, right? That realization that it's time to make a decision, to release the past, and to move forward with clarity and purpose. You can use that energy to approach conflict with honesty and authenticity, to be willing to let go of old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving you, and to create a new vision for your relationship. It's about seeing the situation for what it is and not what you want it to be. You also have that intuition from the High Priestess, right? That ability to tap into your inner wisdom, to trust your gut, and to see beyond the surface. You can use that energy to approach conflict with empathy and understanding, to be able to sense what's really going on beneath the surface, and to communicate your needs in a way that resonates with your partner. What are they really trying to say? Then you have to also keep in mind that Nine of Pentacles. What are you willing to do on your own? Are you too independent? Or are you ready to let someone in? And finally, you have that surrender from the Hanged Man, right? That willingness to let go of control, to trust the universe, and to see things from a different perspective. You can use that energy to approach conflict with humility and openness, to be willing to sacrifice your own ego, and to trust that everything will work out for the best, even if it doesn't look the way you expected. Like, can you let go of the outcome? So, like, putting it all together, the Five of Wands is saying that you have all the tools you need to navigate any conflicts that might arise in your love life. You have the passion, the groundedness, the inner strength, the clarity, the intuition, and the surrender. You just need to trust yourself, to be honest with yourself and with others, and to approach conflict with respect, compassion, and a willingness to find a solution that works for everyone involved. And remember that opal palm stone, right? It's all about unveiling the truths, about seeing things clearly, about being honest with yourself. So, as you navigate this Five of Wands energy, keep asking yourself, what are the truths that need to be unveiled? What are the underlying issues that are causing this conflict? What are the honest conversations that need to be had? The more you focus on clarity and honesty, the easier it will be to navigate these challenges and to create a loving and fulfilling relationship. And one last thing I want to say is that conflict is not always a bad thing, Sometimes, it can actually be an opportunity for growth and connection. When you're able to navigate conflict in a healthy way, you're able to build trust, to deepen your understanding of each other, and to create a stronger, more resilient relationship. So don't be afraid of conflict. Embrace it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Remember, the goal is to communicate openly and honestly, to respect each other's differences, and to find a way to compromise. It's about approaching conflict with respect, with compassion, and with a willingness to find a solution that works for both of you. I know you can do this. I really, really do. You have everything you need, and the universe is supporting you every step of the way. I am seriously so excited for you. I can't wait to see what happens next in your love story. Go get 'em. Okay, so Moonstone Cluster, Awakening. This is all about you beginning to awaken to certain truths, right? And with the reading theme being evolving tights emotional growth and transformation, this is such a beautiful setup. It feels like things are really ready to, shift for you emotionally. Okay, so let's dive right into these cards. First up, we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so immediately what I'm feeling with the Four of Cups is a sense of boredom, or maybe even apathy. It's that feeling of another cup, whatever. Nothing is exciting you, nothing is really grabbing your attention. It's like you're sitting there with your arms crossed, maybe feeling a little bit sorry for yourself, and just totally closed off to new possibilities. So in the context of a love reading, this could mean a few different things. Maybe you're currently in a relationship where things have just gotten, kind of stale, the spark has faded, and you're just going through the motions. Or it could also mean that you're single and you're just so over the dating scene, you've been on so many bad dates that you're just forget it, I'm done. Love is not for me. And you're just not even open to the possibility of meeting someone new. But the thing is, the universe, or whatever you want to call it, is constantly offering you new opportunities, new cups, right? But you're so focused on the fact that you're not happy with what you already have, or what you haven't had, that you're completely missing them. You know what I mean. It's like you're sitting there, pouting and missing out on all the good stuff that's right in front of you. And the Moonstone being all about awakening, it's like you're being called to wake up and actually see what's being offered to you. Stop focusing on what's not working and start appreciating what could be. That's a big message here. Okay, so let's dig a little deeper. Why are you feeling so blah, What's causing this apathy? Is it because you've been hurt in the past? Are you afraid of getting your heart broken again? Or are you just simply stuck in a rut, doing the same things day in and day out, expecting different results? Einstein said that's the definition of insanity, right? And sometimes we do get stuck in these patterns where we're not actually living in the moment. Maybe you need to shake things up a little bit. Try something new. Get out of your comfort zone. Because I'm seeing here that there's definitely potential for love and connection in your life, but you're going to have to be willing to open yourself up to it. And that might mean taking a risk, putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. Which I know can be scary. But it's also the only way to truly experience love. Think about it like this: if you're always hiding behind a wall, protecting yourself from getting hurt, you're also blocking yourself from experiencing joy and intimacy. And the Four of Cups is a reminder that you have the power to choose. You can choose to stay stuck in your apathy, or you can choose to open yourself up to love. It's totally up to you. What's it going to be? Okay, so another possibility here is that maybe you're not being honest with yourself about what you really want. Maybe you're settling for something less than you deserve because you're afraid of being alone. Or maybe you're telling yourself that you're happy with your current situation, even though deep down you're not. The thing is, you can't attract the right kind of love into your life if you're not being authentic with yourself. You know. You have to be honest about your needs and desires, and you have to be willing to go after what you want. And this connects to the Evolving Tides theme because it's about recognizing where you are emotionally and where you want to be. It's about the journey of getting from point A to point B, and it starts with honesty. You know. So, take some time to really reflect on what you want in a relationship. What are your non-negotiables? What are you willing to compromise on? And what are you absolutely not willing to tolerate? Once you have a clear understanding of what you want, it'll be much easier to attract the right person into your life. You know? Also, I'm getting a sense that maybe there's some fear of commitment here. Like, maybe you're afraid of getting too close to someone because you're afraid of getting hurt. Or maybe you're afraid of losing your independence. But the thing is, commitment doesn't have to be scary. It can actually be a really beautiful thing. It's about choosing to share your life with someone who loves and supports you, and who you love and support in return. And it's about building a life together, creating memories, and growing as individuals and as a couple. You know? So if you're afraid of commitment, ask yourself why. What are you really afraid of? And is that fear really serving you? Or is it holding you back from experiencing true love? Because what I'm seeing here is that fear is so often an illusion, you know. Alright, so to recap the Four of Cups, it's all about waking up from apathy, being honest with yourself, and overcoming your fears. It's about recognizing the opportunities that are right in front of you and being willing to take a risk. It's about understanding that you deserve to be happy and that you have the power to create the love life you desire. You know. Now let's move on to the Seven of Swords. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is like the card of deception, sneakiness, and getting away with something, right? It's like someone is trying to pull a fast one, or maybe you're the one trying to pull a fast one. Either way, there's a lack of honesty and integrity here, you know. So, in the context of a love reading, this could mean that someone is being dishonest with you, or that you're being dishonest with someone else. Or, it could also mean that you're being dishonest with yourself about your feelings. Like, maybe you're pretending to be okay with something when you're really not, you know. And this card coming right after the Four of Cups is really interesting, because it suggests that maybe the reason you're feeling so apathetic is because you're not being honest about something. Maybe there's a secret you're keeping, or maybe there's a truth you're avoiding. And that's creating this sense of unease and disconnection. You know? So, let's break this down a little bit. If someone else is being dishonest with you, what does that look like? Are they lying to you about their feelings? Are they cheating on you? Are they hiding something from you? You know? Or are they just simply not being upfront about their intentions? Whatever it is, it's creating a sense of distrust and insecurity in the relationship. And that's not a good foundation for love. So, with the Moonstone energy, it's like time to use your intuition here, right? Now, if you're the one being dishonest, what are you lying about? Are you lying about your feelings for someone? Are you pretending to be someone you're not? Are you trying to manipulate someone to get what you want? You know, because the thing is, dishonesty always comes back to bite you in the butt eventually. It might seem like you're getting away with something in the short term, but in the long run, it's going to damage your relationships and your own sense of self-worth. I mean, think about it, right? And this ties into the Evolving Tides theme because it's about recognizing those unhealthy patterns and choosing to move towards honesty and integrity. It's about being willing to face the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. You know? So if you're being dishonest, ask yourself why. What are you afraid of? What are you trying to protect? And is it really worth sacrificing your integrity for? Because what I'm seeing here is that honesty is always the best policy, especially in love. It really, really is. But here's another angle. Sometimes the Seven of Swords can also represent, like, a need to be strategic, you know? Like, maybe you're in a situation where you need to be a little bit sneaky in order to protect yourself. Or maybe you need to be a little bit cunning in order to get what you want. You know? But the key here is to make sure that you're not hurting anyone in the process. You know. Like, there's a difference between being strategic and being manipulative, and you always want to err on the side of integrity. Like, for example, maybe you're in a relationship where you're not getting your needs met. And instead of confronting your partner directly, you're kind of like subtly trying to manipulate them into giving you what you want. You know. Like you're using guilt trips or passive-aggressive behavior to get your way. But that's not healthy, and it's not going to create a loving and supportive relationship. It's just going to create resentment and distance. So, what I'm seeing here is that direct communication is always better, even if it's scary. You know, okay, so let's say you suspect your partner is being sneaky. What do? Do you confront them directly? Do you try to gather evidence? Do you just ignore it and hope it goes away? Well, it really depends on the situation, right? But I think the first step is to trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. And then, try to have an open and honest conversation with your partner about your concerns. You know, and really listen to what they have to say. Try to see things from their perspective. And if they're not willing to be honest with you, then that's a red flag. You know? So, the Seven of Swords is really a wake-up call to examine the level of honesty in your relationships, but also within yourself. It's about identifying any areas where you might be being deceptive, either with yourself or with others, and choosing to move towards greater integrity. It's about aligning your actions with your values and creating relationships that are built on trust and mutual respect. All right, now for the final card in this spread, the Hanged Man. Oh, this is a powerful one. Okay, so the Hanged Man is all about surrender, sacrifice, and shifting your perspective, right? It's about being willing to let go of control and see things from a different angle. And with these cards together, this feels like it's the consequence of the first two, you know? In a love reading, the Hanged Man often indicates a need to pause and reevaluate your situation. You know. Like maybe you've been pushing too hard, trying to force something to happen that's just not meant to be. Or maybe you've been so caught up in your own perspective that you're not seeing things clearly. Whatever it is, the Hanged Man is telling you to take a step back and look at things from a new angle. It's like, hang in there, literally, but in a good way. This could also indicate a period of sacrifice. Maybe you need to sacrifice your ego, your expectations, or your need to be right in order to make the relationship work. Or maybe you need to sacrifice the relationship itself if it's no longer serving you. This isn't about losing, it's about choosing what's best for your long-term growth. And this absolutely vibes with the Moonstone and its awakening energy. It's like, the awakening may require some form of sacrifice. And this totally aligns with the Evolving Tides theme because it's about embracing change, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about understanding that sometimes you have to let go of the old in order to make room for the new. You know. So, the Hanged Man is really an invitation to surrender to the flow of life and trust that everything is happening for a reason, even if you don't understand it right now. Okay, so another possibility here is that you're feeling stuck because you're clinging to old beliefs or patterns that are no longer serving you. You know. Like, maybe you have a certain idea of what love should look like, and you're not willing to deviate from that. Or maybe you're repeating the same mistakes in your relationships over and over again. The Hanged Man is telling you to let go of those old beliefs and patterns and be open to new possibilities. It's about releasing the past and embracing the future. You know. So, the Hanged Man can feel uncomfortable because it requires you to let go of control and trust the unknown. But it can also be a really powerful and transformative experience. It's about finding peace in the midst of uncertainty and trusting that you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. These three cards together paint a really interesting picture, you know? It's like you're being called to wake up from a state of apathy, confront any dishonesty in your relationships, and surrender to the flow of life. It's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. Because what I'm seeing here is that there's so much potential for love and growth in your life. Okay, so now that we've explored these initial energies, let's see what else the cards have in store for you. I'm so excited to see what's next. Okay, so after all of that, wow, we have the Strength card. This is like such a beautiful energy shift, you know? After feeling apathetic with the Four of Cups and maybe dealing with some dishonesty with the Seven of Swords, and then surrendering with the Hanged Man, the Strength card is like, okay, here's your inner power. It's like a gentle but firm, you got this, you know. So the Strength card is all about courage, compassion, and tapping into your inner resources. It's not about brute force, you know? It's about gentle strength, inner fortitude, and having the courage to face whatever comes your way with grace and compassion, both for yourself and for others. It's about finding that lion within. And I think this is so important after the Seven of Swords, because, if there's been deception or dishonesty, it takes real strength to confront that, right? It takes strength to be honest with yourself about what's really going on. Maybe you've been avoiding the truth because it's too painful, or maybe you've been trying to convince yourself that everything is fine when it's not. The Strength card is saying, okay, it's time to be real with yourself. But it's also about having the strength to forgive, Maybe someone has hurt you, or maybe you've made mistakes. Holding on to resentment and anger only hurts you in the long run. So, the Strength card is calling you to find compassion for yourself and for others, and to release any negativity that's holding you back. It's like finding the strength to say, I forgive you, or I forgive myself, and to move forward with a clean slate. It doesn't mean you condone what happened, but it means that you're choosing to release the emotional burden. What does strength actually look like in the face of dishonesty? Does it mean walking away? Does it mean calling someone out? Or does it mean finding a way to forgive and rebuild trust? It really depends on the situation, doesn't it? But it always starts with that inner strength to face the truth, whatever that may be. Okay, so this isn't just about outer strength, It's really about inner work. It's about tamming your inner demons, controlling your impulses, and finding that calm center within yourself. Think of it like this. The Strength card often depicts a woman gently holding a lion, right? She's not fighting the lion, she's not trying to subdue it with force. She's connecting with it, understanding it, and calming it with her gentle presence. So, what's your inner lion? What are the parts of yourself that feel wild, untamed, or even scary? It could be your anger, your fears, your insecurities, your shadow self. The Strength card is saying that you have the power to tame those parts of yourself, not by suppressing them, but by understanding them and integrating them into your whole being. It's almost like befriending yourself on a deeper level. And that connects back to the Hanged Man, doesn't it? Because surrender isn't weakness, it's actually a form of strength. It takes strength to let go of control, to trust the process, and to see things from a different perspective. It's like, when you're hanging upside down, you're forced to see the world in a new way. And that can be really uncomfortable, but it can also be incredibly liberating. So, the Hanged Man and the Strength card are working together to remind you that true strength comes from within, from your ability to surrender, to adapt, and to find peace in the midst of chaos. It's like, how can you use the energy of the Moonstone, this awakening energy, to really tap into that inner reserve of strength? Maybe it's through meditation, maybe it's through spending time in nature, or maybe it's just through taking some quiet time to reflect on your feelings. Whatever it is, it's about creating space for yourself to connect with your inner wisdom and to find that unshakable sense of self. Okay, so let's get really practical here, right? What does strength look like in your day-to-day life? Let's say you're in a relationship where you're not feeling valued or respected. Maybe your partner is constantly putting you down, or maybe they're just not giving you the attention and affection you need. The Strength card is saying that you have the power to change that situation. You can't control your partner's behavior, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to stand up for yourself, to set boundaries, and to communicate your needs clearly and assertively. It might be scary, but it's necessary for your own well-being. Or maybe you're in a job that's draining your energy and making you miserable. You dread going to work every day, and you feel like you're just going through the motions. The Strength card is saying that you have the power to make a change. You can start looking for a new job, you can talk to your boss about your concerns, or you can even decide to go back to school and pursue a new career path. It might take time and effort, but it's worth it to find work that's fulfilling and meaningful. Right. Or maybe you're struggling with a personal challenge, like an illness, an addiction, or a loss. The Strength card is saying that you have the inner resources to cope with this challenge. You might need to reach out for support from friends, family, or professionals, but you don't have to go through it alone. You can tap into your inner strength to find the resilience, the hope, and the determination to overcome whatever obstacles you're facing. It's like strength isn't about being a superhero. It's about making small, courageous choices every single day. It's about getting out of bed when you don't want to. It's about saying no to things that don't serve you, and it's about asking for help when you need it. You know, it's about recognizing what is truly worth fighting for and what needs to be released. You know, maybe you are fighting for a relationship that really isn't serving either of you. Maybe the strength is in letting go. Maybe you have been fighting yourself, struggling against your own nature, and the real strength lies in acceptance. Where are you expending energy that isn't serving your greater good? Another way to practically apply this is to look at the things you've been avoiding. That difficult conversation, that uncomfortable task. The Strength card is urging you to lean in, to confront it with courage and compassion. Because often, the things we avoid the most are the things that hold the key to our growth and liberation. But here's the thing, right? Strength isn't just about being tough. It's also about being compassionate, both to yourself and to others. It's about recognizing that everyone is doing the best they can with what they have, and that everyone deserves to be treated with kindness and respect. But it's also about setting boundaries. It's about knowing your limits and protecting your energy. You can be compassionate without being a doormat, you know? You can be kind without sacrificing your own well-being. So, how can you use the Strength card to create healthier boundaries in your life? Maybe it's about saying no to requests that you don't have the time or energy for. Maybe it's about ending relationships that are toxic or draining. Or maybe it's just about taking some time for yourself each day to recharge and reconnect with your own needs. It's so important to have these boundaries so that Four of Cups energy, that apathy doesn't creep back in. So, all of this really ties back into the overall theme of evolving tides, doesn't it? Because life is constantly changing, and we're constantly being called to adapt and grow. And the Strength card is a reminder that we have the inner resources to navigate these emotional shifts, to face whatever challenges come our way, and to emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. It's like the Moonstone's awakening energy is helping you to tap into that inner well of strength, to find the courage to be authentic, to set healthy boundaries, and to create a life that's aligned with your values. But remember, growth isn't linear, right? There will be times when you feel strong and confident, and there will be times when you feel weak and vulnerable. And that's okay. It's all part of the process. The Strength card isn't about being perfect. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all, and trusting that you have what it takes to overcome whatever challenges life throws your way. I wonder what's coming next, you know? What other areas of your life are going to require this inner strength? Is it a new challenge or an opportunity to step into your power in a bigger way? I'm so excited to see. Okay. So after all of that, we get the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God, this is so exciting, you know? This is like, things are about to change, like in a big way. The Wheel of Fortune is all about cycles, destiny, and, well, fortune, right? It's like, what goes around comes around, and the universe is about to give you a little nudge, you know? So, in a love reading, this is huge. It's like, get ready for things to shift because the wheel is turning in your favor. But like, what does that actually mean, right? Okay, so first of all, this card coming after the Strength card is like, so perfect. It's like you found your inner strength, you faced your challenges, and now the universe is rewarding you for it. You know, like all that hard work you've been doing. It's about to pay off. But it's also a reminder that life is a cycle, right? There will be ups and downs, good times and bad times. And the Wheel of Fortune is telling you to embrace it all, you know? To ride the wave, even when it's scary. It's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason, and that even the difficult times are leading you to something better. This could mean a lot of things, honestly. Like, if you're single, this could mean that you're about to meet someone really special. Someone who's going to change your life in a big way. You know, like, maybe you've been feeling like you're never going to find love, but the Wheel of Fortune is saying, hold on, your luck is about to change. Maybe you'll just, like, bump into them at a coffee shop, or maybe you'll connect online, or maybe it's someone you already know but haven't seen in a romantic way. You know, the possibilities are endless. It's like, keep your eyes open, because love could be right around the corner. Or If you're in a relationship, this could mean that things are about to get a lot more exciting. Maybe you're going to take your relationship to the next level, like moving in together, getting engaged, or even starting a family. Or maybe you're going to go on a big adventure together, like traveling the world or starting a new business. It's like the Wheel of Fortune is bringing a sense of excitement and possibility to your relationship. But it could also mean that you're going to face some challenges together, Like, maybe you're going to have to deal with some unexpected changes or some difficult decisions. But the Wheel of Fortune is also a reminder that you have the strength to overcome any obstacles, as we just saw, right? With that Strength card. And that by working together, you can create an even stronger and more fulfilling relationship. But here's the thing, right? The Wheel of Fortune isn't just about good luck. It's also about taking responsibility for your own life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create your own destiny. So, it's not enough to just sit back and wait for good things to happen. You have to be proactive, you have to take risks, and you have to be willing to put yourself out there. It's like the Wheel of Fortune is giving you a chance to change your life, but it's up to you to seize it. And this connects back to the Four of Cups, doesn't it? Because if you're still feeling apathetic, if you're still closed off to new possibilities, you're going to miss the opportunities that the Wheel of Fortune is bringing your way. So, it's time to wake up, to shake off that boredom, and to be open to whatever the universe has in store for you. And it also connects to the Seven of Swords, doesn't it? Because if you're being dishonest with yourself or with others, that's going to create obstacles in your path. Like, maybe you're lying to yourself about what you really want in a relationship, or maybe you're hiding something from your partner. Whatever it is, it's going to sabotage your chances of finding true love and happiness. So, it's time to be honest, to be authentic, and to create relationships that are built on trust and integrity. Remember, it's about finding out what your inner lion is and keeping it at bay. Okay, so let's get a little more specific here, right? What kind of opportunities might the Wheel of Fortune be bringing your way? Well, it really depends on your individual situation, doesn't it? But here are a few possibilities, Maybe you're going to meet someone new through a dating app, or maybe you're going to reconnect with an old flame. Maybe you're going to get a promotion at work that's going to give you more financial security and more time for your love life. Or maybe you're going to discover a new hobby or interest that's going to bring you closer to your partner. It's like the universe is full of surprises, and you never know what's going to happen next. So, the key is to be open to anything, and to trust that everything is happening for your highest good. But also, I think this is a good time to think about what you actually want the wheel to bring you. Like, if you could spin the wheel and choose your own outcome, what would it be? Do you want a passionate, whirlwind romance? Do you want a stable, long-term relationship? Do you want to travel the world with your partner? Do you want to start a family? It's like, the more clear you are about what you want, the more likely you are to attract it into your life. So, take some time to visualize your ideal love life and to focus on the positive emotions that it brings you. And then trust that the universe is going to help you make it a reality. And I think that also connects to the Hanged Man. Maybe you need to surrender your old ideas about what love should look like and be open to new possibilities. Okay, but let's talk about the potential downsides of the Wheel of Fortune, right? Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The Wheel of Fortune can also bring challenges, setbacks, and unexpected changes. Like, maybe you're going to go through a breakup, or maybe you're going to face some financial difficulties that are going to put a strain on your relationship. Or maybe you're just going to feel like you're stuck in a rut, and that nothing is ever going to change. But the Wheel of Fortune is a reminder that these challenges are temporary, and that they're actually opportunities for growth and transformation. So instead of getting discouraged, try to see the bigger picture. Try to learn from your mistakes and to use your challenges as fuel for your personal growth. And remember that you have the strength to overcome anything, as we just talked about. So don't give up hope and don't lose faith in yourself. The wheel is always turning, and things will eventually get better. And this is where the Moonstone comes in, right? Because the Moonstone is all about awakening, intuition, and emotional balance. So, when the Wheel of Fortune brings challenges your way, the Moonstone can help you to stay grounded, to trust your instincts, and to find the strength to navigate those challenges with grace and compassion. You know, it's like the Moonstone is helping you to see the bigger picture, to understand that everything is happening for a reason, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Like, what if the wheel brings unexpected change, like a sudden job loss or a family emergency? How can you use the energy of the Moonstone to cope with that? Well, the Moonstone can help you to connect with your intuition, to make wise decisions, and to find creative solutions to your problems. It can also help you to stay calm and centered in the midst of chaos, and to remember that you're not alone. You know, like, you can use the Moonstone to meditate, to journal, or to simply hold it in your hand and focus on your breath. Whatever works for you, the key is to connect with the Moonstone's energy and to allow it to guide you through the storm. And what if the wheel brings you unexpected good fortune, like a sudden windfall of money or a chance encounter with your soulmate? How can you use the energy of the Moonstone to make the most of that opportunity? Well, the Moonstone can help you to stay grounded and humble, to avoid getting carried away by your success, and to remember to use your blessings to help others. It can also help you to stay true to yourself, to avoid compromising your values, and to make sure that your success is aligned with your soul's purpose. You know, it's like the Moonstone is helping you to stay balanced, to avoid extremes, and to live a life that's both fulfilling and meaningful. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is really a call to embrace change, to take risks, and to trust that the universe has your back. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create your own destiny, and that you can overcome any challenges that come your way. And it's about using the energy of the Moonstone to stay grounded, to trust your intuition, and to find emotional balance in the midst of all the ups and downs. You know, so get ready for things to shift, because the wheel is turning in your favor. I wonder what the final card is going to be, you know. Is it going to be a confirmation of all this positive change, or is it going to be a warning about something to watch out for? I can't wait to see. I'm like, on the edge of my seat. I really, really am. Okay. After all of that, wow. 6 of Swords. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so, like, after the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about change and destiny and stuff, the 6 of Swords is like, okay, now you gotta actually do something, you know? It's like, the wheel is turning, things are shifting, but you can't just sit there and wait for good things to happen. You gotta take action, you gotta make a move, you gotta, like, literally get in the boat and row. So, the 6 of Swords is all about transition, moving on, leaving something behind. It's about, like, literally sailing away from troubled waters towards calmer seas, you know? And in a love reading, this could mean a lot of things. It could mean that you're leaving behind a bad relationship, or it could mean that you're moving on from a difficult phase in your current relationship, you know? Or it could mean that you're just, like, ready to embrace a new chapter in your love life. A chapter that's filled with more peace, more harmony, and more emotional stability. Like, it's interesting that this card is coming up now after the Wheel of Fortune card, because it is almost like the Wheel of Fortune is, like, setting things in motion, like creating a new path, and then the 6 of Swords is like, okay, here is the boat. And the Moonstone being all about intuition, it's like, use your intuition to see what path you're supposed to take to sail to those new calmer waters. But, like, what exactly are you leaving behind, right? That's the big question. What are those troubled waters that you're sailing away from? Well, let's go back to those earlier cards, right? We had the 4 of Cups, which was all about apathy and boredom. So maybe you're leaving behind a relationship that's just become, like, stale and unfulfilling. Maybe you're tired of feeling, like, blah and disconnected, and you're ready to find something that actually excites you, you know? Like, you're finally saying, okay, I'm done with this apathy. I deserve more than this. And you are, like, choosing to leave that behind, and now you're on your journey to find, like, true love and happiness, you know? And then we had the 7 of Swords, which was all about deception and dishonesty. So, maybe you're leaving behind a relationship that was built on lies and secrets. Maybe you've been dealing with someone who wasn't being honest with you, or maybe you weren't being honest with yourself, you know? And the 6 of Swords is saying, okay, it's time to cut ties with all that negativity. It's time to surround yourself with people who are trustworthy and supportive, people who are going to lift you up instead of bringing you down. It's like you're choosing to leave behind the drama and the BS, and you're setting sail towards a more authentic and genuine connection, you know? It's like you're saying, I'm done with the lies. I deserve honesty and respect. And I think this is like a really important step, because you can't really build a solid foundation for love if you're not being honest with each other, right? And then we had the Hanged Man, which was all about surrender and sacrifice. So, maybe you're leaving behind a relationship where you were constantly trying to control things, or where you were holding onto old patterns that weren't serving you, you know? The Six of Swords is like, okay, it's time to let go of all that. It's time to surrender to the flow of life and trust that everything is happening for a reason. You know, it's time to release your need to be right all the time and to be open to new perspectives and new possibilities. It's like you're saying, I'm done fighting. I'm ready to surrender and trust the universe. And that requires a lot of strength, doesn't it? Which brings us to the Strength card. It's like it takes real strength to leave something behind, especially if it's something that you've invested a lot of time and energy into, right? It takes strength to say, okay, this isn't working for me anymore, and to walk away even if it's scary. It takes strength to face your fears and to embrace the unknown. But the Strength card is reminding you that you have that inner power, you have the courage and the compassion to make this transition. You're not weak, you're strong, and you can do this. You know, you can handle whatever comes your way. It's like you're tapping into that inner lion and saying, okay, I'm ready to roar. I'm ready to take control of my life and create the love life that I deserve. The Strength card really helps propel this journey forward because it's all about taking action. And you have the strength to make the right decisions, you know? You can use your inner resources, that inner lion, to help you make this journey to calmer waters. And then, of course, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is like, the universe is conspiring to help you on this journey, right? The wheel is turning in your favor, and you're being guided towards a more fulfilling and meaningful love life. But you have to be willing to take the leap. You have to be willing to get in the boat and start rowing. You can't just sit there and wait for the universe to deliver everything to you on a silver platter, you know? You have to be an active participant in your own destiny. It's like the Wheel of Fortune is giving you a push in the right direction, but it's up to you to steer the ship. And the Moonstone energy is helping you to stay connected to your intuition, to make wise choices, and to trust that you're on the right path. It's like the Moonstone is your compass, guiding you through the storm towards calmer waters. But like, what does this journey actually look like in practice, right? Where are you going? What are you hopping to find on the other side? Well, that's really up to you, isn't it? But I think the key is to focus on creating a love life that's aligned with your values and your desires. A love life that's filled with honesty, respect, and mutual support. A love life that allows you to be your authentic self and to grow as an individual and as a couple. It's like you're sailing towards a love life that's based on truth and integrity, a love life that's nourishing and fulfilling, a love life that's worthy of your time and energy. You know, like, maybe you're looking for a partner who shares your passions and your interests. Maybe you're looking for a partner who's emotionally available and communicative. Or maybe you're just looking for a partner who makes you laugh and who makes you feel good about yourself. Whatever it is, it's important to be clear about what you want so that you can attract the right person into your life. And it's also important to be realistic about what you're willing to compromise on, right? Because no relationship is perfect. There will always be challenges and disagreements. But the key is to find someone who's willing to work through those challenges with you, someone who's committed to building a strong and lasting relationship, you know? It's like you're not looking for perfection, you're looking for compatibility and a willingness to grow together. Like sometimes what you think you want is not actually what you need, so the journey itself can open your eyes to new possibilities and new perspectives. Also, like, where are you sailing to, you know? Like, what do those calmer waters actually look like? Is it a new relationship? Is it a deeper connection with your current partner? Is it a greater sense of peace and self-love? It really depends on your individual situation, but I think the key is to visualize what you want and to focus on creating that reality. You know, Like, maybe you can start by making small changes in your life, like setting healthier boundaries, communicating your needs more clearly, or spending more time doing things that you love. Or maybe you need to make a bigger change, like ending a toxic relationship or moving to a new city. Whatever it is, the Six of Swords is encouraging you to take action and to create the life that you want. So, the Six of Swords is really about taking that leap of faith and trusting that you're being guided towards something better. But it's also about being prepared for the journey, you know. It's about packing your bags, learning how to sail, and being ready to face whatever challenges come your way. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely worth it. Because on the other side of those troubled waters lies a love life that's filled with peace, joy, and fulfillment. But don't forget, this is an emotional journey. Pack those emotional bags. But remember, this journey isn't just about escaping from something bad. It's also about moving towards something good. It's about creating a love life that's aligned with your soul's purpose, and that brings you true happiness. It's about finding a partner who loves and supports you unconditionally and who helps you to become the best version of yourself. You know. Like, maybe you're sailing towards a love life that's filled with passion and intimacy. Or maybe you're sailing towards a love life that's based on friendship and companionship. Whatever it is, it's important to keep your eyes on the prize and to trust that you're being guided towards your highest good. So, the Six of Swords is really a call to action. It's time to leave behind whatever's holding you back and to set sail towards a brighter future. It's time to tap into your inner strength, to trust your intuition, and to embrace the changes that are coming your way. And it's time to remember that you're not alone on this journey. The universe is supporting you, and you have the power to create the love life that you desire. And the moonstone is like, radiating with you and with the water around you, guiding you. So, get ready to embark on this adventure, because I have a feeling that it's going to be a life-changing experience. I wonder what the final card is going to reveal, you know? Is it going to be a smooth sailing, or are there more storms ahead? Is this journey internal or external? Oh, I'm like, so excited to see. Okay, so after all of that, Six of Swords, leaving stuff behind, moving towards calmer waters, right? Like, what a journey so far. Okay, so, drum roll please. We have the Seven of Cups. Oh, this is interesting, this is really interesting. You know, after making that decision to move on, this is like, wow, the universe is throwing a bunch of options at you, you know. So the Seven of Cups is all about choices, possibilities, fantasies, maybe even a little bit of illusion, you know. It's like, suddenly you're presented with all these different cups, and each one has something different inside, something tempting, something shiny, something that looks amazing, you know? But the question is, like, which one is the real deal? Which one is actually going to bring you happiness and fulfillment? Which one is just a mirage? And like, after making that big decision to sail away from those troubled waters with the Six of Swords, this Seven of Cups is like, bam, here are all the things you could choose. Does that journey have a clear destination, or is it more about exploring? And this kind of throws a wrench in the works, doesn't it? Because it's like, you've finally decided to leave all that baggage behind, you're feeling strong and empowered, you're ready for a fresh start, and then, boom, all these shiny distractions pop up. It's like the universe is testing you, you know? Are you really ready to move on? Are you really committed to creating a better love life for yourself? Or are you going to get sidetracked by all these tempting illusions? So, like, let's think about this in the context of your journey, right? You've decided to leave behind the apathy, the dishonesty, the old patterns that weren't serving you. You've tapped into your inner strength, you're trusting the universe to guide you, and you're sailing towards calmer waters. But now, suddenly, you see all these different islands in the distance, each one promising something amazing. One island might offer passionate romance, another might offer financial security, another might offer spiritual enlightenment, another might offer just plain fun, you know? And it's like, which one do you choose? Which one is the right destination for you? Do you try to visit them all? Do you just pick one at random? Or do you stay true to your original course and trust that you're already heading in the right direction? You know, like, this card is really asking you to get clear on what you truly desire. What are your core values? What are your non-negotiables in a relationship? What kind of love life do you really want to create for yourself? Because if you don't know what you want, you're going to be easily swayed by all these external temptations. You're going to end up chasing after shiny objects that ultimately don't bring you any lasting satisfaction. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in the fantasy of what could be, to imagine yourself living this perfect, idyllic love life. But the Seven of Cups is reminding you that fantasy isn't reality. You have to be grounded in the present moment, you have to be honest with yourself about what's truly important to you, and you have to be willing to put in the work to create the love life that you desire. Okay, so, let's say you're single, right? And you're finally ready to start dating again after leaving behind a bad relationship. You put yourself out there, you join a dating app, and suddenly you're bombarded with messages from all these different people. Each one seems to offer something different. One person is super attractive, another is really successful, another is incredibly kind and sensitive. It's like, which one do you choose? Do you go on dates with all of them? Do you just pick the one that seems the most appealing on the surface? Or do you take the time to really get to know each person and see if they're a good fit for you on a deeper level? You know, this card is really urging you to be discerning, to not just jump into the first relationship that comes along. To really take the time to evaluate your options and to choose someone who aligns with your values and your desires. Don't be blinded by the shiny exterior, look for the substance underneath. Or let's say you're in a relationship, right? And things are going pretty well, but you're starting to feel a little bit restless. You see other couples who seem to have it all figured out, who are always traveling the world and having these amazing adventures. And you start to wonder, am I missing out on something? Should I be doing more to spice up my relationship? Should I be looking for something more exciting? You know, the Seven of Cups is reminding you that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Just because something looks perfect from the outside doesn't mean it actually is. You have to be careful not to get caught up in the illusion of what could be, and to appreciate what you already have. To focus on nurturing your current relationship and making it the best it can be, instead of constantly chasing after something that might not even be real. So, how do you navigate all these choices and possibilities, right? How do you avoid getting caught up in the illusions and distractions? Well, I think the key is to tap into your intuition, to trust your gut feeling, and to really listen to your heart. Remember that strength card we pulled? It's time to call on that inner power again. You have the wisdom and the discernment to make the right choices for yourself. You just have to quiet the noise of the outside world and tune into your own inner guidance. It's like, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what do I really want? What truly makes me happy? What kind of love life do I envision for myself? And then, trust that the answers will come to you. This moonstone crystal is all about awakening, right? It's about connecting with your intuition and seeing things clearly. So, use that moonstone energy to help you cut through the illusions and see what's really going on. Meditate with it, hold it in your hand, and ask it to guide you towards the right choices. Trust that the moonstone will help you to see the truth and to make decisions that are aligned with your highest good. And also think back to the Evolving Tides theme. What choices would help you evolve and grow emotionally? What choices would keep you stuck in old patterns? Use that theme to help you evaluate your options and to make decisions that support your personal growth. It is important to remember that some of those choices will be more difficult than others. Remember the Hanged Man card? It's about surrendering and shifting your perspective. Sometimes the best choice is to let go of control and trust that the universe knows what's best for you. To surrender your need to have everything figured out and to be open to new possibilities. It's like you don't have to make all the decisions right now. You can take your time, explore your options, and trust that the right path will reveal itself to you. But you have to be willing to let go of your expectations and to be open to surprises. Ultimately, the Seven of Cups is a reminder that you have the power to create your own reality. You have the power to choose what you focus on, what you believe, and what you attract into your life. So choose wisely, choose love, choose joy, choose happiness, and trust that the universe will support you on your journey. What does your heart want? Is the shiny thing also what your heart wants or just something external? Let's try to make sure that you are going after what you desire at your core. Okay, so what are the implications of all these choices, right? What's going to happen next on this journey? Are you going to make the right decisions? Are you going to get sidetracked by illusions? Is this going to be a smooth sailing, or are there more storms ahead? Oh, I'm so curious to see what the final card reveals. Okay, so after all of that, the Seven of Cups, all those choices, all those possibilities, right? Drum roll, please. Our final card is the High Priestess. Ooh, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, so like the High Priestess is all about intuition, mystery, and trusting your inner voice. She's like the ultimate guide to navigating those 7 cups, you know. It's like after all that external stuff, all those choices, it's time to go within and listen to what your gut is telling you. This card is telling you to trust yourself after all those other cards. So, let's just recap everything real quick, just to put it all in perspective, okay? We started with the Four of Cups, remember? That feeling of apathy, of being bored and disconnected from love. It's like, another cup, whatever. You weren't even open to the possibilities in front of you, right? And then, we had the Seven of Swords, which was all about deception and dishonesty, either from yourself or from someone else. Maybe you weren't being honest about what you really wanted, or maybe someone was hiding something from you. And then we had the Hanged Man, which was about surrender and sacrifice. Letting go of control, seeing things from a new perspective, trusting the flow of life, you know? Then things started to shift. We got the Strength card, which was like, okay, tap into your inner power. You got this. Finding that gentle strength, that inner fortitude, to face whatever comes your way with grace and compassion, right? And then, the Wheel of Fortune. Things are about to change in a big way. The wheel is turning in your favor. But it's also a reminder that life is a cycle, with ups and downs, and you gotta embrace it all, you know. And then, the Six of Swords, which was about transition, moving on, leaving something behind, sailing away from those troubled waters towards calmer seas. Actually taking action, you know? And then, finally, the Seven of Cups, all those choices, all those possibilities, all those shiny objects vying for your attention. It's like, okay, now what do I do? You know. And that's where the High Priestess comes in. She's like, SHHH, be still, listen to your intuition. The answers are within you. You know, the High Priestess isn't about logic or reason. She's about feeling, about knowing, about trusting your gut. She's the keeper of secrets, the guardian of the subconscious, the one who knows what's really going on beneath the surface. She represents that quiet, intuitive voice inside of you that always knows the truth, even when your mind is trying to convince you otherwise. This journey is a spiral, really, each part affecting the next. So, in the context of this reading, the High Priestess is telling you that you already have everything you need to make the right choices. You don't need to look outside of yourself for answers. You don't need to rely on other people's opinions or expectations. You just need to connect with your own inner wisdom and trust that it will guide you in the right direction. But how do you actually do that, right? How do you connect with your intuition? Well, there are lots of different ways, but here are a few ideas, you know. First, try creating some space for quiet reflection. Find a peaceful place where you can be alone with your thoughts, away from all the distractions of the outside world. Light a candle, put on some relaxing music, and just breathe. Close your eyes and focus on your breath, and let your thoughts come and go without judgment, you know? Just observe them, like clouds passing by in the sky. Then ask yourself some questions. What do I really want? What am I feeling right now? What is my gut telling me to do? And then listen for the answers. Don't try to force anything, just be open to whatever comes to you. The answers might come in the form of a feeling, a thought, an image, or even a dream. Just pay attention to whatever resonates with you, whatever feels true and authentic. Another way to connect with your intuition is to spend time in nature. Go for a walk in the woods, sit by the ocean, or just lie down in the grass and look up at the sky. Nature has a way of quieting the mind and opening the heart, you know? It can help you to feel more connected to yourself and to the universe. And then, there's meditation, of course. There are lots of different types of meditation, so find one that works for you. You can try guided meditations, mindfulness meditations, or even just simple breathing exercises. The key is to find a practice that helps you to quiet your mind and to connect with your inner self. But remember, it's not about clearing your mind completely. It's about learning to observe your thoughts without judgment and to come back to the present moment whenever you get distracted. And then pay attention to your dreams. Dreams are often messages from your subconscious mind, and they can provide valuable insights into your inner world. Keep a dream journal by your bedside and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Don't try to interpret them right away, just record the details and the emotions that you felt. And then, later on, you can look for patterns and symbols that might reveal deeper meanings. Also, trust your feelings, Your emotions are a powerful source of information. They can tell you when something is right or wrong, when you're on the right track, or when you're heading in the wrong direction. But it's important to learn how to distinguish between your true feelings and your conditioned responses. Your true feelings are authentic and genuine, while your conditioned responses are based on past experiences and limiting beliefs. So pay attention to how your body feels when you're making a decision. Do you feel light and expansive, or do you feel heavy and constricted? Do you feel excited and energized, or do you feel anxious and drained? Your body will tell you what you need to know if you just listen. But remember that moonstone we were talking about at the beginning? This is where it really shines. The moonstone is all about intuition, emotional balance, and connecting with your feminine energy. It's like the high priestess in crystal form. So carry that moonstone with you, meditate with it, or just keep it on your bedside table. Let it remind you to trust your intuition and to connect with your inner wisdom. And think about the evolving tides theme. The high priestess is all about embracing change and trusting the flow of life. She knows that everything is constantly changing, and that the only constant is change itself. So, don't be afraid to let go of the old and embrace the new. Trust that the universe is guiding you towards something better, even if you can't see it right now. And remember that 7 of Cups, all those choices. The High Priestess is telling you that you don't have to choose just one. You can explore different options, you can try new things, you can experiment with different paths, But the key is to stay true to yourself and to make choices that are aligned with your values. Don't let other people pressure you into doing something that doesn't feel right. Don't be afraid to say no. And don't be afraid to change your mind if you realize that you're on the wrong path. But here's the thing, right? The High Priestess isn't just about intuition, she's also about mystery. She represents the unknown, the things that we can't see or understand. So sometimes you just have to surrender to the mystery and trust that everything is happening for a reason, even if you don't know what that reason is. Like maybe you're facing a difficult situation and you don't know what to do. Maybe you're feeling lost and confused and you can't see a way out. The High Priestess is telling you that it's okay to not know. It's okay to feel uncertain. It's okay to trust that the universe will guide you, even when you can't see the path ahead. It's also about trusting that, hey, I'm on the right path and what will be, will be. So what's the ultimate message here, right? The High Priestess is telling you that you are wise, you are intuitive, and you have the power to create the love life that you desire. You don't need to look outside of yourself for answers. You have everything you need within you. Just trust your inner voice, follow your heart, and know that you are always being guided towards your highest good. This isn't just about romantic love, either. This is about self-love, self-acceptance, and recognizing your own worth. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be fulfilled, and you deserve to have a love life that brings you joy and satisfaction. So, don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. And don't be afraid to go after what you want. The universe is supporting you, and the High Priestess is guiding you every step of the way. As the wheel turns, know that you have the inner resources to navigate whatever comes next. So, pile Crystal Moonstone Cluster, I am going to leave your reading right there. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope that this reading resonated and that you were able to glean some wisdom from it. Just like remember to trust your intuition, tap into your inner strength, and know that you have the power to create the love life that you desire. I have faith in you. I really, really do. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again real soon. Bye.